Most people summon dragons or legendary spirits. But this guy? He accidentally summoned a mad assassin who enjoys decapitating enemies and barking like a dog on command. Meet Bong Joon-hyuk. He's beyond down bad. He's drowning in debt, has loan sharks ready to harvest his kidneys, and quite frankly, has a spine weaker than the ramen noodles he eats every night. But the tower doesn't care if you're a coward. It only cares about results. And with a perfectly loyal killer at his side, is this ultimate wuss, about to become the only one to earn an S+ rank. We open in some grimy back alley that's seen better days. Our guy is trying to walk home, but of course, there are a couple of low-level mob goons just loitering. One of them spits, and the other one gets mad about his shoes. Classic. He just keeps on walking, trying to ignore the filth of the neighborhood. You can practically feel the despair radiating off him. This isn't a power fantasy protagonist. This is a dude who's just trying to survive another Tuesday. And here we have it, home sweet home. A glorious, shoebox-sized, 180-square-foot rooftop apartment. Living the absolute dream, folks. You love to see it. And here he is, our hero. Meet Bong Joon-hyuk, 25 years old, unemployed, and juggling 3 part-time jobs. His dinner of choice? Ramen. Again. This man is the poster child for down bad. So why can't he save money working 3 jobs? One simple, 4-letter word. Debt. Even if he has to live miserably, chowing down on cheap noodles, he's determined to pay it off. We've got our setup. Our debt-ridden king needs a break. He slurps his noodles, accepting his fate. No special skills, just a healthy body. No bright future, just pure, unadulterated depression ramen. He's fully embraced the loser life. But wait, just as he's resigned to his pathetic fate, ping, the iconic blue system window appears. You know what that means. The plot is finally here. Bong Joon-hyuk, you have awakened. His reaction is priceless. Eyes wide, noodles hanging from his mouth, completely frozen in shock. The system screen is reflected in his eyes. This is not a drill. He gets blown back from his table, spitting out his dinner in a glorious, messy spray. He's not just surprised, he's physically assaulted by the sheer shock of this development. The disbelief is real. I awakened? Me? Yes, you, my dude. The universe has finally decided to throw you a bone, or a death sentence. It's usually a 50-50 split. So, the system gives us a little tutorial. Awakenings are a blessing, a chance to hit the jackpot and turn your life around. It's like winning the lottery, but with more monsters and a higher chance of a gruesome death. And here's the fine print. But the thing is, you have to be alive to enjoy it. Entering the tower is extremely dangerous. It's not a gift, it's a death game. We get a lovely montage of all the ways you can die. Torn apart by giant green monsters, freezing to death in some icy hellscape, or being burned to a crisp. Fun! We even get a chibi version of our boy, Joon-hyuk, teaching a class on the various ways you can die in the tower. Thanks, Captain Obvious. And this is where the title of the story comes in. Joon-hyuk's entire life philosophy has been to be a wimp. He avoids confrontations at all costs, even pretending to be on the phone to dodge a couple of smokers. This is peak cowardice. He actively avoids anything that looks remotely dangerous, like a construction site. He straight up admits it. Yes, I'm a loser and a coward. I've lived my whole life like that. Self-awareness is the first step, I guess. But now, everything's changed. He's awakened. He puts his chopsticks down with a thud. Is this the birth of a hero, or just a very confused coward? He immediately defaults to skepticism. Wait, is this even real? He thinks he's hallucinating from exhaustion. So, like any good gamer, he calls out the magic words. BMBR's status window. And boom, the blue screen of destiny delivers. Level 1. Okay, starting from the bottom. Affiliation, Black Tower. But here's the good stuff. Trait, Summon, a pet class. This is where the Wimp's strategy comes into play. You don't have to fight if you can get someone else to do it for you. This could be broken. It's real. He's not dreaming. He touches the screen, completely stunned. My trait is... Summon? The payoff is here. He's not a swordsman or a mage. He's a summoner. The system gives another quick lesson. Traits come in all the classic fantasy flavors. Swordsmanship, spearmanship, archery, healing, you name it. The standard RPG classes. And then we get a look at what advanced summons look like. We're talking epic spirits, unicorns, stone golems, and giant demonic beasts. The potential for this skill is huge. This leads to the million-dollar question running through his head. What kind of summoner am I? Is he going to get some OP dragon, or is the RNG going to give him a pet rock? There's only one way to find out. He realizes he has to test his new skills. It's time to roll the gacha, baby, and see what the universe has blessed or cursed him with. He throws his hand forward and screams the activation word. Summon! You can feel the energy, the desperation, the hope. Is he about to pull an SSR rank summon on his first try? Or is his luck as bad as his finances? He looks at his status window, and it clicks. He has a skill called Random Summon. Of course, our boy with his terrible luck gets a skill based entirely on RNG. So he tries it, full of hope. And absolutely nothing happens. A big fat question mark. You can feel the secondhand embarrassment. And then he remembers. Oh, right. Skills don't work outside the tower. He facepalms, feeling like a complete idiot. The tiny chibi art just makes his failure even more pathetic. We get a quick refresher on the rules of this universe. A player's abilities are only effective inside the tower. They can't be activated outside of it. No exceptions. The narration confirms it. Outside the tower, a player is just a normal person. So all that hype was for nothing. He's still just a broke dude in a sad apartment. That's common knowledge. I feel like an idiot. You said it, brother, not me. He's staring at his closed door, probably contemplating his life choices. He's still mumbling to himself about how there's no way a skill would work out here. But then, wait. And here's where the brain rot kicks in. A system window pops up, bold as brass. You have activated Random Summon. The game just decided to break its own rules for him. His eye flares with a purple light. What? The universe is cheating, and our boy is right in the middle of it. This is the moment things get weird. A massive, glowing, purple summoning circle erupts from his front door, filling his tiny apartment with magical energy. This is way too extra for a 180 square foot room, and from the light emerges a dude. A guy with red hair, dressed in some kind of fantasy rogue outfit, levitating like he owns the place. Well, that's not a slime. Joo-hyuk's face says it all. Pure, unfiltered shock. His jaw is on the floor. What? Why did that work? The game is bugged, my friend, and you're the main character. Wait, are you a person? Joo-hyuk asks, and the summon dude just gives a cheerful salute. Yep, I'm a person. That's me. This is not a golem. This is not a spirit. He summoned a whole-ass guy. Joo-hyuk is having a system meltdown. He's not in the tower. He summoned a human. Everything he thought he knew is wrong. Meanwhile, the summoned guy starts sniffing the air. The summoned dude, this supposedly epic being, takes a big whiff. His nose is practically twitching. What has captured his attention? A dragon? A demon? The scent of a powerful enemy? Nope. It's the ramen. Oh, is this ramen? He asks, with stars in his eyes. He looks absolutely ecstatic. Can I have just one bite? The tonal shift here is incredible, from epic summon to foodie. Joo-hyuk, completely bewildered by this turn of events, just meekly agrees. What else are you supposed to do when your illegal magic summon asks for a bite of your dinner? And so, he watches as the mysterious summon warrior slurps up his poverty ramen. Joo-hyuk's realization is just sad. Of all things, I summoned a one-bite moocher. It gets worse. The guy thinks the mild udon is spicy. Our boy Joo-hyuk is just standing there, internally judging him. Not only is his summon a moocher, he has the spice tolerance of a Victorian child. Joo-hyuk tries to get his brain back on track. He's still confused about how the skill worked outside the tower, and why he got a human summon, which is unheard of. Time to do what any gamer would do when confused. Check the patch notes. He pulls up the status window again to get more details on his busted skill. And here's the fine print. He can summon humans and demi-humans. The summons are divided into tiers: R, SR, SSR, and even LSSR, Legendary Special Super Rare. The author is just making stuff up now, and I love it. Joo-hyuk gets it instantly. It's like I'm pulling for a gacha game character. My man understands the grind. His life is now a gacha game. My condolences. But then comes the most important detail. The summon being abides by the 3 principles. This is huge. This could be the core of his Wimp's strategy. And the principles are: 1. Protect the summoner's life above all else. 2. Absolutely obey the summoner's orders. 3. If there's a conflict, Rule 1 wins. This isn't just a summon, it's a perfectly loyal bodyguard and servant rolled into one. For a wimp like Ju Hyuk, this skill is fundamentally broken. So Ju Hyuk opens up the catalog entry for his new summon, and oh wow. Name, John Kosak. Title, Mad Assassin of the Cruel Assassins Guild. Rarity, SR, super rare. That's a decent pull, but Mad Assassin? That sounds problematic. And the details just get better. He's the guild's greatest asset and their biggest headache. His mission success rate is 99%. He even assassinated a 5th Circle warlock. This guy isn't just a moocher, he's seriously OP. But as this info floods his brain, Ju Hyuk gets hit with a massive wave of psychic feedback. He's not just reading stats, he's getting a direct download of Kosak's memories. His eyes glaze over, the world around him distorts. He's getting pulled into a vision. This is way more than he bargained for when he yelled, "Summon," and we're in. His consciousness is literally falling into the summoning circle, right into the memories of a mad killer. This is fine. Everything is fine. He sees his own spectral form tumbling through the vision as a shadowy figure, Kosak, dashes past. The speed is insane. Ju Hyuk lands in the memory, completely disoriented, as Kosak moves like a blur in the background. The sheer difference in their power levels is staggering. He can barely process what he's seeing. The memory is a whirlwind of motion and violence. This is Kosak's past, and it is bloody. He sees Kosak cutting through swaths of enemies like they're nothing. It's a brutal, efficient slaughter. Our wimpy protagonist is getting a front row seat to a massacre. He's even got another head with a bow on it right there. His internal monologue is just, is he insane? Why is he gift wrapping their heads? Followed by the most absurd thought. At least it's a gift. The brain rot is real. And that smug, satisfied little smirk on his face. This guy enjoys his work. He's not just an assassin, he's an artist, and his medium is murder. But even with a 99% success rate, there's always that 1%. The vision shifts to his final mission. His end came from a single failure. We see the shadow of his final target, sitting on a throne in some grand hall. This was his last job. His target was the Empire's strongest swordmaster. Kosak flew a little too close to the sun on that one. And we see the result. The swordmaster blocks his attack, and Kosak is sent flying, defeated. So that's how he died. That's Kosak's last memory. Ju Hyuk is snapped out of the horrifying vision by Kosak, getting right up in his personal space. What are you thinking about? The transition from a bloody past to the awkward present is jarring. He freaks out, stumbling backward and falling over. This assassin is way too intense. Kosak apologizes, saying he was just wondering if Ju Hyuk had any orders for him. The politeness is almost scarier than the violence. Ju Hyuk starts sweating, trying to calm himself down. He doesn't have to be scared, right? He remembers the rule. The summon must absolutely obey the summoner's orders. So he decides to test this theory. He points to the dirty dishes. "Mr. Kosak, please wash the ramen pot, and wipe the table clean." Kosak just beams and says, "Okay, got it," and immediately gets to work, scrubbing the table and washing the pot with terrifying enthusiasm and speed. Ju Hyuk is stunned. Whoa, he's fast. And he doesn't complain either. The mad assassin is also a fantastic housekeeper. The realization dawns on him, a slow, shocked expression spreading across his face. He really does everything I say. The possibilities are starting to flood his wimpy little mind. He decides to push it. He asks Kosak if he would do something absurd. Kosak, still cheerfully wiping the table, promises to obey any order. The smile is what makes it so creepy. And this is where our boy gets a little corrupted by the power. The first real order he gives this legendary assassin, his first taste of absolute command, is bark for me. He has a moment of doubt. Crap, did I go too far? He thinks that since Kosak was a powerful man, he must have a lot of pride. Humiliating him like this could be a huge mistake, but his fears are unfounded. Kosak immediately, and with incredible enthusiasm, starts barking his head off, complete with a wagging tail and adorable chibi sound effects. This is the most unhinged thing I've ever seen. Ju Hyuk just gives a smug little thumbs up. His face is priceless. He really is absolutely obedient. He's confirmed it. He has total control over a mad assassin. What could possibly go wrong? And just as he's enjoying his newfound power, Bang, bang, bang! Someone is pounding on his door, hard enough to leave dents. Real-world problems have come knocking. Joo-hyuk's face falls. Bong Joo-hyuk, you in there? The jig is up. He forgot. Today was the day he was supposed to pay off the interest on his loan. And we get a quick, sad backstory. He had to borrow 10 million won. Since the banks wouldn't touch him, he had to go to a loan shark. Never a good idea. It was for his dad's surgery after a nasty fall, and to pay his younger brother's college tuition. He had no choice. He's not a deadbeat. He's just a guy who got dealt a really bad hand. He thought he could pay it back, but he hasn't even touched the principal. He's already paid over 5 million won in interest alone. These rates are criminal. He knows it was stupid, but he'd do it again for his family. As the banging continues, Joo-hyuk panics and calls for his new problem solver, Mr. Kosak. Kosak, bless his murderous heart, immediately offers the most logical assassin solution. Just give the order. I'll bring you that bastard's head. He's got his sword out and everything. The grin on his face is pure chaotic energy. Joo-hyuk, being the massive wimp that he is, completely panics at this suggestion. That's not it. He literally pushes the mad assassin towards the bathroom, telling him to hide and not make a sound. Kosak's only question? Can I still breathe? Yes, Kosak, you can breathe. The fact that he had to ask is hilarious. Joo-hyuk opens the door and is immediately grabbed by the collar. The loan sharks are not happy. And here's the boss. Bald, scarred, gold chain, the classic scumbag look. He gives a fake, friendly greeting, saying he was worried since the interest payment didn't come through. Joo-hyuk can only apologize. Joo-hyuk quickly sends the payment via his phone. Problem solved, right? Wrong. The boss gives some friendly advice. If things get too hard, he can always sell an organ. 1 kidney and all your problems are gone. What a nice guy. But it gets worse. One of the goons pipes up. Doesn't that punk have a younger brother, boss? Another chimes in. The younger they are, the more expensive they sell. And that's the line. You do not talk about his family. For the first time, we see a flash of genuine anger in Joo-hyuk's eyes. The wimp has a breaking point after all. The boss notices the look immediately. Huh? What's with that look? You looking for a fight? He challenges him, getting right in his face. And the anger is gone. Joo-hyuk immediately folds like a cheap suit, putting on a pathetic, sweaty smile. No, of course not. I wouldn't dare. So much for that flicker of courage. The boss leaves with a final threat. Watch yourself, unless you want to disappear without a trace. He slams the door, leaving Joo-hyuk to his misery. Kosak casually strolls out of the bathroom. Joo-hyuk sighs. Ah, Mr. Kosak. Kosak's response is perfect. You did a great job hiding in silence. You ordered me to. The deadpan delivery is top tier. The emotional whiplash of the day finally hits him. Worked a double shift, awakened, summoned a human, and got a visit from loan sharks. He's so exhausted, and frankly, I don't blame him. He finally starts thinking about the tower as a real option. With all the monsters, maybe it's a way to finally clear his debt. It's a dangerous thought, but a tempting one. But he immediately shoots the idea down. He slumps to the floor in defeat. There's no way a coward like me could climb the tower. The self-loathing is strong with this one. Kosak, seeing his master as having a crisis, asks if he can watch some TV since it's been a while. The sheer domesticity of this psychopathic assassin is hilarious. Joo-hyuk, too tired to argue, just agrees. He has no idea how this dude from another world knows about TV and ramen, but he's too exhausted to care. Kosak is thrilled and promises to just watch a few dramas. So we get this surreal scene. Joo-hyuk is curled up in bed, trying to sleep, while the mad assassin sits on the floor, quietly watching a K-drama. This is the weirdest roommate situation ever, and as the sounds of the drama fill the room, Joo-hyuk has a realization. It's not so bad having someone else around. Kosak might be a summoned being, but he's company. For the first time in a long time, he doesn't feel completely alone. He's been working himself to death all by himself. Having another presence in the room is almost comforting. He looks over at his new bizarre companion and thinks to himself, this is nice. Maybe, just maybe, this whole awakening thing won't be so bad. But that peaceful moment is the calm before the storm. The final piece of the puzzle is about to fall into place. The next morning, Joo-hyuk's 8 a.m. alarm goes off. It's time to get back to the grind. He wakes up and realizes Kosak is gone. He must have been unsummoned. He's alone again, and the TV is showing the GBC news desk. He vaguely remembers seeing a system window in his sleep, confirming that the summon duration of 6 hours was up. John Cusack has been unsummoned. It was all real. He decides to just forget about it and get ready for work, trying to force his life back to normal. But just then, the TV blares. We have breaking news. As he gets ready in his kitchen, the news report begins. Earlier this morning, in Jongno-gu, Seoul, at an office of the illegal private lending company. The name of the company? Smile Cash. Ju-hyuk freezes. Wait, Smile Cash? That's his loan shark. This can't be a coincidence. The reporter continues. There are 3 victims in total, all of whom were found decapitated. Ju-hyuk drops his toothbrush in absolute shock. And then comes the final, horrifying detail. What's truly shocking is that the victims' heads were found decorated with red ribbons. Decapitated heads, decorated with red ribbons? The words echo in his mind as the horrible realization begins to dawn on him. Could it be? He flashes back to the memory vision. To Cusack, with that smug little smile, happily tying a red bow onto a severed head. It all clicks. The smiling salute, the offer to bring him the loan shark's head, the red ribbons. John Cusack? He clutches his head, screaming in pure terror. Comforting my ass. That brief moment of peace is shattered forever.
We kicks off with a news report that's, well, bizarre. The headline reads, "The Smile Cash Murder Case," and the scene is pure carnage. A trashed office, blood splatters everywhere. This isn't just a murder, it's a statement. We get a close-up on a hand, decked out in gaudy rings, lying in a pool of its own blood. This is our first clue about who the victims are, probably some loan shark thugs. Good riddance, you might think. But it gets so much worse. And here's where it goes from grim to just plain weird. We see a box full of severed heads. And each one has a cute little red bow on it. Wait, a red bow? What kind of serial killer has a thing for gift wrapping their victims? This is some next-level psychological warfare. Cut to our boy, Bong Joo-hyuk, having an absolute meltdown. He's seeing this news on his phone, and the only thought running through his head is, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. I'm so screwed. You can feel the panic radiating off the page. The guy looks like his soul just left his body. Joo-hyuk's trying to get through his convenience store shift, still bugging out over the news. He's convinced the killer is the assassin he accidentally summoned, Cossack. And just as he's having this thought, a customer walks in wearing that same, horrifying red bow. His brain just short-circuits. And bam. We're hit with this absolutely terrifying image straight from Joo-hyuk's imagination. It's the psycho assassin, John Cossack, holding up one of the severed heads and asking him to ring it up like it's a bag of chips. The sheer audacity. Just a pure, unadulterated close-up of Joo-hyuk's eye, shaking in absolute terror. The poor guy is not equipped to handle this level of crazy. Not even a little bit. The hallucination gets even more unhinged. Now Cossack is presenting the head at the counter, while more heads are lined up on the shelf behind him under a Valentine's Day sign. The dark comedy is just chef's kiss. He's genuinely asking, aren't you going to ring me up? And that's the final straw. Joo-hyuk lets out a blood-curdling scream, knocking over a display stand. He has officially checked out of reality. Can you blame him? I'd be screaming too. Suddenly, reality hits. A female cashier, who has no idea about the decapitated head hallucination happening in his brain, just sees a dude screaming and falling over. She cautiously asks if he's okay. Oh, honey, he is not okay. She stammers out an apology, thinking she startled him, and says she'll ring him up right away. The contrast between her normal, everyday concern and Joo-hyuk's internal horror is just perfect. Joo-hyuk, now outside and completely traumatized, decides he's had enough. I can't work like this, he thinks, deciding to take a day off from all his jobs. Yeah, my dude, after hallucinating a gift-wrapped decapitation, you've earned it. But he can't shake the feeling. He's thinking about the people who died, the lone sharks who made his life a living hell. Even though they were terrible people, the reality of their deaths is hitting him hard. As he walks alone, surrounded by happy couples, a heavy question weighs on him: was it because of me? The guilt starts to set in. He may not have pulled the trigger, but he was the one who summoned the gunman. This is the moral baggage that comes with having a psycho assassin on call. The scene shifts to his lonely rooftop apartment at night. A quiet moment for him to process the absolute train wreck his life has become. Or, for things to get even weirder. And of course, it gets weirder. He pulls up the system catalog on the assassin. Name: John Cossack. Grade: SR, super rare. Type: assassin. Yep, Ju Hyuk didn't just summon a random thug, he hit the RNG jackpot and pulled a top-tier, murder hobo professional. Back in his apartment, Ju Hyuk tries to comfort himself. Since I'm his summoner, he won't harm me. Which is a fair point. But then he immediately follows it up with, but he's still a little scary. A little? Understatement of the century, my guy. Taking a deep breath, he decides to face the music and actually summon the guy on purpose this time. With a determined look, he shouts, "Designated summon, John Cossack." Here we go. But wait. The summon doesn't happen. Instead, a system window pops up right in his face, and his confident expression immediately dissolves into a confused, "Huh?" The system, it seems, has terms and conditions. And here's where the Wimp strategy really kicks in. The system is asking him to leave a satisfaction rating for John Cossack before the summon. It's like having to rate your Uber driver before they've even started the car. Ju Hyuk realizes this is what the satisfaction rating section in the catalog was for. Ju Hyuk's first instinct is pure spite. This psycho just traumatized him and murdered a bunch of people, so for being such a pain in the ass, he's getting a 1-star review. He even pulls out the middle finger for emphasis. You love to see the pettiness. He's about to slam that 1-star rating home, but he pauses. Is what I'd like to give him, but... oh no. Don't tell me he's having second thoughts. And there it is. His finger moves away from the single star. He just can't bring himself to be that heartless. Even to a literal mad assassin. This is why he's our wimpy king. The system confirms his choice. John Cossack's satisfaction rating has been set to 3 stars. He settled for a perfectly average, non-confrontational, "you didn't suck but you weren't great" rating. You might be wondering why he'd show mercy to a stone-cold killer. Well, it all comes down to his mom. A flashback reveals she used to work for a rental company and he saw firsthand how heartbreaking a low satisfaction rating could be for someone just trying to do their job. So, as a personal rule, our boy never gives 1 star. This, right here, is the core of the Wimp's Guide to Star Ratings. It's pathetic, deeply empathetic, and sets the stage for what happens next now that the rating is locked in. And the summon is complete. The system confirms it, John Cossack is here. After all that anxiety over a star rating, it's finally time to meet the monster face to face. In a flash of blue light, Cossack appears. And he's saluting. With a giant, cheerful grin on his face, he shouts, "Reporting for duty." This is not the vibe you expect from a mad assassin. Not at all. And here's the payoff for Ju Hyuk's wimpy kindness. Cossack is beaming, thanking him for the 3 stars and promising to work even harder. Ju Hyuk is just baffled, thinking, did someone this innocent and cheerful really kill 3 people? Ju Hyuk decides he has to ask. He starts hesitantly, but Cossack, ever the people pleaser, just encourages him to speak freely. Bad move, Cossack. You have no idea what's coming. So Ju Hyuk drops the bomb. He looks Cossack dead in the eye and asks, "Those men who came to my house yesterday, did you kill them, Mr. Cossack?" No more beating around the bush. It's time for answers. Cossack's response is so casual it's chilling. That's correct. I took care of them last night, right before I was unsummoned, he says with a smile. The confirmation sends Ju Hyuk literally stumbling backward in shock. It wasn't a nightmare, it was real. The reality finally crashes down on Ju Hyuk. He's standing face to face with a stone-cold murderer who works for him. His heart starts racing, he feels sick to his stomach. This is way more than he signed up for. He desperately tries to calm himself down with the only comforting thought he has: calm down. He won't hurt me at least. Which, when you think about it, is a pretty low bar for a business relationship. Ju Hyuk then asks the logical follow-up: how did he even find them? Cossack explains that he planted a tracker's mark on the loan sharks when they first attacked Ju Hyuk. The man is disturbingly proactive. A tracker's mark? Ju Hyuk is floored. He can't wrap his head around it. Why? Why go that far? He's still thinking like a normal person. He's about to learn that Cossack is anything but. Cossack's reasoning is simple and terrifying, because they were a threat. It's best to eliminate threats in advance. When Ju Hyuk sputters that he never ordered him to do it, Cossack is completely unfazed. This is where the true horror begins. And here comes the fine print. Cossack explains it's all because of the third clause of the three principles of the summoned. Ju Hyuk looks on, completely lost, as he's about to get a crash course in psychopathic employee logic. The system lays it all out. Principle 1, protect the summoner. Principle 2, obey the summoner. Principle 3, if 1 and 2 conflict, Principle 1 wins. Cossack cheerfully explains this is a massive loophole that lets him ignore orders if he thinks Ju Hyuk is in danger. This is not good. Ju Hyuk tries to poke holes in this logic. What if he ordered Cossack to kill him? Cossack throws up a big X and says nope. He would disobey that order to protect him. It's a safety feature that has suddenly become a terrifying liability. But Ju Hyuk pushes back. There wasn't an actual threat, it was just Cossack's own judgment call. And Cossack agrees. He admits the third clause can be interpreted in many ways. This is the verbal equivalent of a giant, flashing red warning sign. Cossack lays out his twisted perspective. In his view, the loan sharks were a future threat, so killing them was a perfectly reasonable judgment. Hearing this, Ju Hyuk finally cracks and screams what we're all thinking: that's psychotic. After his outburst, Ju Hyuk immediately apologizes. But Cossack, with a disturbingly casual air, just says, "It's quite alright. I hear that a lot." The fact that he's been called psychotic so often that he's become immune to it is maybe the scariest thing about him. Ju Hyuk is having a horrifying realization. He understands the logic, but the implications are terrifying. This interpretation clause gives his murder-happy summon a blank check to do whatever he wants. He starts running a scenario through his head. Let's say he's walking down the street with Cossack and accidentally bumps into some random tough guy. The guy gets in his face, spouting the usual empty threats: "You wanna die? I'll gouge your eyes out." It's just talk, the kind of meaningless posturing that happens a million times a day. But, depending on Cossack's interpretation, that empty threat could be registered as a legitimate danger. And the result? Another gruesome murder, complete with a little red bow. A truly horrifying thought. Ju Hyuk starts mumbling frantically to himself, completely lost in this nightmare scenario. He's spiraling, and frankly, who could blame him? Seeing his summoner in distress, Cossack does the unexpected. He drops to his knees and declares, "It was my fault." Ju Hyuk is completely thrown off. Why is the psycho assassin suddenly apologizing? So we get this horribly dysfunctional HR meeting. Ju Hyuk tries to set some basic ground rules, like, murdering people could get me in trouble. He begs Cossack to promise not to kill anyone again, setting the bar as low as, unless there's a literal knife to my throat. But Cossack, with infuriating sincerity, says he can't promise that. Ju Hyuk tries to set a final, desperate boundary. Don't go killing people based on mere suspicion, but Cossack cuts him off with a booming, yes, sir. I'll use my best judgment, and a sharp salute. And in that instant, you can see it on Ju Hyuk's face. He knows this conversation is pointless. He's talking to a brick wall of cheerful insanity. Ju Hyuk is just done. That negotiation went absolutely nowhere. He can tell Cossack is just giving him the runaround, so he gives up and dismisses him. You can see the exhaustion on his face. But as he's being dismissed, Cossack stops and asks a simple question that changes everything. By the way, Summoner, have you considered climbing the tower? The question hits Ju Hyuk like a physical blow. It's the one thing he's been desperately trying to avoid thinking about, and now his psycho assassin is bringing it up. He clenches his fist. He knows it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The allure of power and wealth that the tower promises is real, and for a guy this deep in debt, it's a siren's call. But then reality sets in. We see this vision of the tower, filled with horrifying monsters, and Ju Hyuk admits the truth. Honestly, I'm scared. It's dangerous, and I could die. This is the core of our MC, a healthy and very reasonable fear of death. Trying to deflect, Ju Hyuk asks if Cossack has had other summoners before him. And Cossack confirms, there were. You can already feel the inferiority complex kicking in for our boy. With a calm, almost wistful expression, Cossack describes them. They were very strong and brave. He's basically telling Ju Hyuk, my exes were way cooler than you. And Ju Hyuk just takes it. He looks down, completely ashamed, admitting that unlike those heroes, he doesn't have the courage to risk his life. He's fully embracing his wimp status. He turns his back, ready to accept the judgment he thinks is coming. I know, he says, finishing Cossack's sentence for him. I'm a pathetic coward. But that's not what Cossack was going to say. In a massive twist, Cossack lights up with sparkles and a huge grin, shouting, the greatest summoner of all. Ju Hyuk is left completely stunned, with a giant HUH. This is the plot twist we live for. Cossack grabs Ju Hyuk, getting right in his personal space to deliver the most insane pep talk ever. What is a summoner's greatest virtue? He shouts. Safety first, of course. It is. And here's his absolutely galaxy-brained logic: bravery is poison. A brave summoner is a dangerous summoner. Because if the summoner dies, Cossack can't be summoned to come out and play anymore. It's the most selfish, self-serving, and honestly, brilliant logic I've ever heard. He's not done. With a massive, predatory grin, he leans in and promises, don't you worry. I'll handle all the dirty work. You just lay low and live a long, long life, Summoner Bong. And there it is. The perfect partnership. A coward who wants to live and a psycho who needs his summoner alive to keep killing. Ju Hyuk is left speechless, basking in the glow of being called the greatest summoner for being a total wimp. But even with that insane pep talk, Ju Hyuk couldn't sleep. He spent the whole night tossing and turning, worrying about whether or not he should climb the tower. The fear is still very real. He tries to talk himself down. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise? I should just be grateful that my debt disappeared along with the debt collectors and move on. He's trying so hard to rationalize a return to a normal life. He stands on his sunny rooftop, stretching as if he can physically push the worries away. I'll just work a safe, normal job. For a brief, shining moment, it seems like a real possibility. And then the phone rings. Of course it does. The universe just can't let this man have one moment of peace, can it? He answers. It's his dad. Ju Hyuk asks about his rehab, but the news is bad. They said you need to transfer to a bigger hospital? The financial dread is already creeping back in. And then the second shoe drops. What? Mom got fired. His dad tries to say it's fine, but it's not. In one phone call, his family's already dire situation has gotten exponentially worse. That fragile hope of a normal life? Gone. Poof. Joo Hyuk puts on a brave face for his dad, telling him not to worry and that he'll visit soon. He's trying to hold it together, but you can see him crumbling as he hangs up the phone. He just stands there in silence, phone in hand. The weight of it all, his dad's health, his mom's job, the endless pile of debt, it all comes crashing down on him. And in that moment of crushing despair, a fire is lit. His expression hardens. There are no other options left. There is only one path forward. And what a path it is. Joo Hyuk gears up for war with a baseball bat, a construction helmet, a safety vest, and a wet floor sign for a shield. The system officially dubs this his full safety manager set. This is it. This is peak performance. He has reached his final form. He tries to psych himself up, making a deal with himself. Just the first floor. I'll just take a quick peek and come right back out. It's a bargain with fear. Since he has the day off anyway, it's the perfect time. With his gear ready, he prepares for the final step, the summon. His mind starts racing with possibilities. Can't I try summoning someone else, he wonders. The gacha addiction is kicking in. He's dreaming of pulling some OP, legendary special super rare grade character that isn't a complete psychopath. A man can dream, right? And the system is here to crush those dreams. A giant blue window pops up, random summon is not available. And why? Random summon cooldown, 28 days. A whole month. Joo Hyuk is stuck with his SR grade psycho. There is no re-rolling in this gacha hell. Defeated and out of options, he summons his one and only ally. Cossack appears in a flash of light and says, "Summoner Bong, thank you for the 5 stars. Wait, 5 stars? Our boy gave him 3. Either Joo Hyuk's wimpiness accidentally registered as a 5-star review, or Cossack's just delusional. Either way, it's hilarious. Joo Hyuk immediately panics, thinking, he doesn't know I tried to summon someone else, right? He gives the most awkward welcome ever, trying to play it cool after almost cheating on his one and only summon. Joo Hyuk steels himself and makes the announcement, "I've decided. Let's enter the tower." Cossack is thrilled. How brave of you. Before immediately catching himself. No, I take that back. You shouldn't be brave. His anti-bravery agenda is still going strong. Now throw away these crude things. Cossack casually disarms Joo Hyuk, tossing aside his trusty baseball bat and wet floor sign shield. Once we're inside, I'll be your guide. The professional is taking over. With a confident snap of his fingers, Cossack makes the ultimate promise to our wimpy king, you won't need to lift a single finger. This isn't just a partner, this is a full-service, OP tier carry. He's going to do all the dirty work while Joo Hyuk reaps the rewards. And then, the official prompt appears. Do you wish to enter Korea's Black Tower? Floor 1 is accessible. This is the final confirmation before they dive in. No turning back now. Cossack is practically vibrating with excitement. Well then, shall we go? He asks, while Joo Hyuk, looking a bit like he's about to throw up, gives a shaky YEP, and an OK sign. They press the button together. Ding! It's official. Entering floor 1 of Korea's Black Tower. The tutorial is over, folks. The real game is about to begin. And they are immediately sucked into a digital vortex. Joo Hyuk is screaming for his life, flailing wildly as he's pulled in. Cossack, on the other hand, dives in headfirst like a pro athlete. Our boy Bong Joo-hyuk just used his one-and-done random summon and pulled an SR rank assassin. And now? The system is yeeting him into the tower. No tutorial, no loading screen, just straight into the digital deep end. And here we have the face of pure, unadulterated regret. This is the, "I've made a huge mistake," face. The force of the teleport is literally squeezing the soul out of him. Oh, and look who's along for the ride. John Cossack, the murder hobo assassin, is casually surfing the data stream while our MC is screaming his lungs out. The difference in their expressions is just peak comedy. And touchdown. They've landed inside the Black Tower. It's got this whole post-apocalyptic vibe, complete with a fancy hexagonal, safe zone barrier. Because nothing says safe like a force field in the middle of a wasteland. Joo-hyuk takes his first look at the first floor. It's a complete dump. You can see the pure, unfiltered "what the hell did I get myself into" washing over him. The hard hat is not helping his confidence. And there it is. The motion sickness from his first ever teleport kicks in. You know that feeling after a bad all-nighter fueled by cheap energy drinks? Yeah, that's him right now. He straight up vomits. Our protagonist's grand entrance into the tower is him painting the floor. Cossack, the seasoned killer, just pats him on the back like it's a normal Tuesday. "You'll get used to it." Famous last words. With our boy done redecorating the entrance, Cossack is all business. "Alright, I'm heading out of the safe zone. Try to keep up." The casual way he says it while Joo-hyuk is still recovering is just sending me. But wait. A system message pops up. Physical abilities have been enhanced to match your level. Trait and combat skill use is now available. It's the classic RPG starter pack. Our boy is officially a player. Joo-hyuk feels the change instantly. Oh, so this is what it feels like. Even at level 1, he can feel the power-up. Look at that face. That's the face of someone who just went from a wet noodle to at least an al dente noodle. And here's the first quest. The setup is simple: defeat 5 tough-skinned fatty maggots in under 2 hours. Failure means death. No pressure, though. This is the tutorial level, right? Right? Cossack, being the helpful yet terrifying murder buddy that he is, immediately spots the targets. Ah, over there. Yep, a whole field of giant, disgusting-looking maggots. A quick mental check of the forums. Apparently, the first floor is just a skills test. These maggots are basically practice dummies. They have almost zero attack power, but their skin is notoriously tough to crack. The classic damage sponge enemy. Joo-hyuk remembers reading that it takes other players a good 30 minutes to take down just one of these things. You can see the gears turning in his head. The tension builds. Can he do it? He clenches his fist. A surge of that sweet, sweet protagonist confidence hits him. I'm a player now too. Oh boy, here we go. Get ready for the "I'll do it myself" arc. And he's off. He confidently strides towards the enemy, telling Cossack he'll try catching one first. Cossack is just like, dude, you don't have to. But our boy is determined. He squares up against the giant maggot. Man versus bug. The epic showdown is about to begin. He's got this, right? He's a player now. This is his moment. Wait, and here's where the brain rot kicks in. He realizes a fatal flaw in his brilliant plan. Oh right. A weapon. He needs to borrow one from Mr. Cossack. You can't make this stuff up. But it gets worse. While he's having his moment of genius, the practice dummy, he just aggro decides to say hello. The tension ramps up as the maggot rears back. And there's the money shot. That is not the face of a harmless practice dummy. That's a "I'm about to melt your face off" kind of face. All that protagonist confidence? Gone. Reduced to atoms. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Frozen. Panicked. The sweat is practically flying off him. That 5 seconds of confidence was a fun ride while it lasted. He can't even look at it. He just averts his gaze, blushing with pure, unfiltered terror. This is the Wimp strategy in its purest form: get in over your head immediately. And here it is, the payoff. The ultimate cheese strategy. He screams for his carry. Help me, Mr. Cossack. And Cossack's reaction is priceless. A cheerful thumbs up. A wise decision. He's not even annoyed, he's just happy that our boy finally realized the whole point of summoning an SR rank assassin is to, let him do the assassinating. With permission granted, the professional immediately gets to work. John Cossack activates his skills and zips forward to engage the first maggot, leaving our wimpy king safely in the dust. The strategy is simple: why struggle when you have a living, breathing cheat code? And as we're about to see, this build is absolutely broken. And here's the payoff. Cossack doesn't even break a sweat. One clean strike and the maggot just explodes into green goo. Our boy Ju Hyuk is just standing in the background, probably questioning all his life choices. But he's not done. He tells Ju Hyuk to step back, because he's about to go from 0 to 100 real quick. He's targeting not just one, but all the maggots on the field. This isn't a fight, it's pest control. Look at that form. The daggers, the energy, the smug look on his face. This is an SR-ranked assassin doing what he does best. While other players spend 30 minutes per maggot, Cossack is about to clear the whole floor in 30 seconds. He unleashes a wave of pure, unadulterated damage. This isn't just a simple sword swing. This is a full-blown area of effect ultimate ability. The maggots literally never stood a chance. And then, the aftermath. Cossack just stands there, cool as a cucumber, while the remains of the fatty maggots rain down around him. That little smirk says it all. That's it? The skill name? Blade Explosion. It's exactly what it sounds like, and it is completely, utterly broken for a first-floor mission. This is like bringing a nuke to a knife fight. As the dust settles, Ju Hyuk just watches, completely dumbfounded, as the monster parts finish exploding. The sheer difference in their power levels is staggering. He's playing checkers while Cossack is playing 5D chess with a supercomputer. His face says it all. The jaw is on the floor. The eyes are wide with disbelief. That single word, wow, is the sound of his entire understanding of the game being shattered. He instantly cut through them all. The so-called tough-skinned maggots that take normal players half an hour to kill were wiped out in a single move. The bodies are already turning into blue data particles. And cue the loot drop. Mission success, level up, and a 100G magic crystal. But then comes the kicker, an S++ clear rating for floor 1, which comes with a special reward, a platinum badge. Ju Hyuk goes from shocked to ecstatic in about 0.5 seconds. What the heck, this is way too easy. I might get rich soon. Our debt-ridden king has found his get-rich-quick scheme, and it involves hiding behind his OP summon. But here's the twist. The narrator drops a bomb on us. The wimp Bong Ju Hyuk didn't know yet. Didn't know what? What's the catch? You don't just get an S++ rating for free. While Ju Hyuk is celebrating, his record-breaking clear sends a shockwave through the system. We see other players, high-ranking ones by the looks of it, getting a notification. His little cheese strategy is having big consequences. The same notice appears at that exact moment, for pretty much everyone. It goes out to all players in South Korea. From the top-tier pros to the low-level grinders, everyone is getting the same alert. Our boy just accidentally triggered a server-wide event. The system gives Ju Hyuk a choice: challenge floor 2, or exit the tower. Because he cleared the first floor so fast, he's basically unlocked the next stage for the entire country. Oops. He chooses to exit, and poof. They're teleported right back into his kitchen. So that's how it works. You finish a floor, you get sent home. It's like a really dangerous day job. Ju Hyuk, looking a little queasy from the return trip, checks his phone. The whole thing, from entering the tower to clearing the first floor, took only 5 minutes. The meta for this floor is completely shattered. Cossack, ever the cheerful assassin, congratulates him. Summoner Bong, you worked hard. He says it with the biggest, most genuine smile. It's so wholesome and so creepy. Ju Hyuk is confused. No, I didn't do anything. And Cossack hits him with the ultimate validation for his Wimp strategy, that's what you did well. He's literally being praised for doing nothing. This is the dream. He reflects on the experience. While other players are exhausted from fighting these things for hours, he found it laughably simple. The power of having a good carry is just undeniable. And now, to the loot. He lays out his rewards, the magic crystal and that mysterious platinum badge. He holds up the crystal, seeing it for the first time in person. It's the physical proof of his 5 minutes of hard work. We get a quick info dump. Magic crystals are a key resource in this world. The price has dropped since the towers first appeared, but 100G is still worth about 50,000 won. That's some decent cash for 5 minutes of standing around. Another bit of world building, the Black Towers appeared 20 years ago all over the world. So, most people know the basics from watching YouTubers and news reports. Things like magic crystals being worth money is common knowledge. But, the platinum badge? He's never heard of it. It wasn't in any of the guides or videos. It's a rare, off-meta item. And yet, does he care? Not really. Faced with a mysterious, potentially game-breaking item, our boy's mind is elsewhere. He doesn't even care about the badge for now. The only thing on his mind is the money. 50,000 won in just 3 minutes. While Cossack watches, our boy is already planning how to spend his earnings, starting with binging some K-dramas. A man of culture. And what do you do after your first successful raid? You treat your carry to a nice meal, of course. Ju Hyuk orders a feast of pork feet and noodles. This is how you keep your SR rank assassin happy. But wait, something is wrong. The fearsome assassin, the man who blew up a dozen monsters without flinching, is sweating bullets over the food. It turns out, Cossack can't handle spicy food. At all. Ju Hyuk even ordered the non-spicy version for him, but just the smell is enough to make the deadly assassin break out in a cold sweat. This is his one weakness. And there you have it. The man who can face down hordes of monsters and assassinate targets in his sleep is seriously, hilariously weak to a little bit of spice. They dig in, and Cossack is just so happy to be eating. He thanks Ju Hyuk for his kindness, but let's be real, this is an investment. A happy carry is a powerful carry. While they're eating, Ju Hyuk notices something odd about the way Cossack talks. He shortens his sentence endings, which is a bit informal. And Cossack's explanation is a huge lore drop, he picked it up from his previous summoner. Ju Hyuk immediately compares it to picking up habits from an ex-boyfriend. And honestly, he's not wrong. Cossack is basically a summoned entity with a relationship history. This adds a whole new layer to his character. Cossack offers to fix his speech if it's uncomfortable, but Ju Hyuk finds it hilarious. The two of them share a genuine laugh. This is the moment their dynamic shifts from terrified guy and his murder weapon to actual friends. And here's the thought that changes everything. Ju Hyuk realizes that this whole tower climbing thing with Cossack isn't dangerous at all. It's a golden opportunity. He quits his hard labor part-time job on the spot. No more construction sites for our boy. Why break your back for minimum wage when you can have a summoned assassin do all the work for you? And with that, he stares at the black tower in the distance with a new resolve. It's not a threat anymore. It's a business. And business is about to be booming. He looks at it and thinks, it's doable. The next morning, it's time to put the new plan into action. A new day, a new strategy. He proudly displays his new schedule, a real man's daily routine. This is the master plan that's going to get him out of debt. His old life was a grind, convenience store, charcoal grill restaurant, and squeezing in day labor whenever he could. But now, that's all changing. His new schedule is simple. Sleep, work his 2 main jobs, and then dedicate the entire evening to conquering the tower with John Cossack. It's a perfect, foolproof plan. What could possibly go wrong? To kick things off, Cossack gives him a glowing review for the meal and the easy mission. A 5-star satisfaction rating. Ju Hyuk is so happy he says he'd give 10 stars if he could. Keeping the carry happy is priority number 1. But this gets him thinking, is the satisfaction rating actually an important mechanic? He just thought it was a fun little gag. And Cossack confirms it. This is a crucial system. The better the rating, the more benefits they both get. A little chibi Cossack gets an upgrade. This is the setup, the core loop of the Wimp strategy: summon, satisfy, profit, repeat. Cossack lays it all out. A higher satisfaction rating means his manifestation time increases, his grade can go up, and he gets more opportunities to be called. It's a direct upgrade path for the summon, powered by the summoner's performance and kindness. With the plan set and the mechanics understood, they don't waste any time. It's straight back into the grinder. System message, entering floor 2 of the Black Tower. And once again, Ju Hyuk is stumbling out of the teleport gate, dizzy as hell. Cossack, on the other hand, is perfectly fine. He's built for this. Our boy Ju Hyuk? Not so much. The new mission pops up. The objective for floor 2 is to defeat 10 crafty fatty maggots. Same time limit, same failure condition, a swift and permanent game over. And we get our first look at the new enemy type. These crafty maggots aren't just sitting there waiting to be hit. They're burrowing through the ground, moving with surprising speed. Ju Hyuk is immediately on edge. These things are faster and trickier than he expected. He turns to his trusty carry and asks, what should I do? But Cossack just smirks. Do? You won't have time for that. And what does he mean by that? He means a 3-minute clear. Not for one monster. For the entire floor. Cossack holds up 3 fingers like he's ordering a combo meal, not announcing a speedrun record. Cossack powers up, ready to end this before it even begins. I'll finish quickly and escort you home. It's the most professional and terrifying room service you could ever ask for. And Ju Hyuk? He's not scared, he's not even tense. He's already planning the after-party. Should we have chicken today? With beer too? He's shouting his dinner order from the sidelines while his carry does all the work. Peak Wimp strategy. Cossack hears the magic words chicken and beer and gets a surge of motivation. You can see the pure joy on his face as he unleashes another devastating attack. This man is powered by good food and positive reinforcement. And just like before, it's total annihilation. The so-called crafty maggots are instantly vaporized by another blade explosion. The floor is cleared in seconds. Ju Hyuk can barely process what's happening. This is crazy, just crazy. The reward screen pops up, floor 2 mission success, another level up, and a sweet 200G magic crystal. The money is just rolling in. And of course, another S++ clear rating for floor 2, which means, another platinum badge. It's becoming a pattern. A very, very profitable pattern. S++ again? Is it okay for it to be this easy? He's realizing the sheer insanity of his situation. He can clear floors so fast, he could literally do a tower run before his morning shift. This isn't just a strategy, it's an exploit. So they just keep going. Straight into floor 3. Ju Hyuk stumbles on the landing again, and Cossack just gives him a thumbs up. Great landing. The mission this time? 10 ice-cold fatty maggots. And, scene. Before we even see the new monsters, the floor is already cleared. Another level up, another reward, 300G magic crystal. This is just a power leveling montage at this point. And what comes with an instant clear? You guessed it. Another S++ rating, and another platinum badge for the collection. Floor 4. Cleared. Cossack gives a smug little chibi smile. This is just routine for him now. Floor 5. Done. Our Wimp King and his murder buddy are high-fiving their way up the tower. They're not just climbing, they're speedrunning life itself. But then, something different happens. A new notification appears. You have collected 5 S++ grade platinum badges and then special privilege granted for accumulating 5 platinum badges. Wait, what? This is it. The payoff for all those mysterious badges. Ju Hyuk is floored. His eyes are wide with shock. A special privilege. This is beyond a simple item reward. This is something that could change the entire game for him. And the system reveals the reward. Special privilege, awakening trait enhancement. As a privilege effect, the number of simultaneous summons has increased to 2. He doesn't just have one OP assassin anymore. He can now summon 2 of them. This is utterly, game-breakingly, pants-on-head broken. Our boy just won the RNG lottery. Alright, let's do a quick gear check on our boy, Bong Ju-hyuk. Level, a mighty 6. Trait, summoning. And the stat that's about to break the game's spine? Simultaneous summons, 2. But my absolute favorite line item here? Combat skills, none, you heard me. Our guy is a professional couch potato. And the reality of that broken skill hits him. Wait, 2 summons? He's already got John Cossack, an assassin who's clearing floors on very easy mode. Now he can add another one to the party? Ju-hyuk realizes the game is about to get even more broken. And what happens when you find an infinite money glitch? The game just throws loot at you. He's getting S++ clear rewards. This isn't just winning, this is the game practically begging him to stop by showering him in legendary tier items. Naturally, our boy is feeling himself. Look at him, already picturing his victory lap. He thinks this is his ticket to a safe, easy life. Oh, you sweet, naive child. You have no idea what kind of trouble you're stirring up. But here's the catch, the fine print on his get-rich-quick scheme. His random summon, the one that got him his OP carry, has a cooldown of over 20 days, so his grand strategy is to just be careful? For almost a month? This dude's master plan is literally AFK farming in real life. And what a plan it is. He's daydreaming about just chilling while his 2 summons, yep, that's the silhouette of his next carry, do all the work, racking up S++ ranks for him. The sheer, unadulterated genius of doing absolutely nothing. We have to respect it. His mind is made up. Tomorrow, they go again. The content train stops for no one, especially not for guys with this much debt. But while our boy is planning his AFK empire, the adults have entered the chat. We cut to Hanam-dong, Seoul. The Korea Awaken Management Agency. This is where the people who are about to have a major headache work. And inside, it's a classic "this could have been an email" meeting. You can just feel the bureaucratic tension in this room. Something's up. This guy here looks like he's waiting for server maintenance to end, wondering when the notice will show up. What notice? Oh, just the little world announcement that's about to ruin his week. And just like a stealth class character in a video game, his colleague pops up right behind him for a verbal sneak attack. She knows exactly what's got him so worked up. And he freaks out, naturally. These are team leader John Guangael and manager Lee Minna. They're basically the GMs of the server, and they're about to investigate a player who's using cheat codes. Minna drops the bomb. A new global notice has appeared, an S++ grade clear of floor 6, and Guangael's, again, tells you everything. This isn't the first time. The mystery player is making too much noise. See, the Black Tower's global notices are like a server-wide broadcast. And someone is spamming the world chat with their insane achievements. Guangael finally puts 2 and 2 together. This isn't a bunch of different high rankers. It's one person. One player is steamrolling floors 1 through 5, and now 6, getting a perfect score every time. This is who they think they're looking for, some shadowy, ultra-talented prodigy. A true monster. Little do they know, it's a dude in a hoodie whose only skill is being lucky. The pressure mounts. This isn't just a game anymore, it's a national security issue. And now the final boss of the office, Director Park Kyung-soo, lays it all out. Korea's best record was an A grade, they didn't even know S++ was a real grade. Our boy isn't just playing the game, he's breaking the entire meta. And here's the real kicker. An S++ player is so valuable that other countries will do anything to get them. We're talking poaching, citizenship offers, maybe even a little light kidnapping. It's a feeding frenzy for top-tier talent. So, the new main quest for the agency is simple. Find this player immediately, before another guild poaches him. The manhunt is on. The directive is out, keep a close eye on all newly registered players. The net is closing, and our boy has no idea. And we jump cut. 2 days later. So while the government is in full-blown panic mode, what is the legendary assassin John Cossack up to? He's cheerfully washing dishes. He's just happy to be clearing 1 floor a day. The contrast is just beautiful. And Ju Hyuk, our master strategist, just watches his carry and thinks everything is going smoothly. He even calls the first 10 floors the beginner phase. Buddy, you have no idea the endgame raid boss you just summoned to your front door. But for now, ignorance is bliss. And so, completely oblivious to the storm brewing outside, the Wimp and his world-class assassin carry continue their casual stroll into the next foggy level of the tower's tutorial. On to the next floor. Alright, next up is floor 8. The mission? Defeat 10 Red Thorn Frog Warriors. Okay, a classic mob-clearing quest. For a normal player, this might be a hassle. For our dynamic duo? It's just another Tuesday. The frogs try to put up a fight, at least. Look at this guy, using his tongue like some kind of weird, gross ranged attack. That's unsettling. But is it effective? Of course not. Cossack just blitzes through them like they're level 1 slimes. The speed, the efficiency, he's not just a carry, he's a one-man farming machine. And boom, mission complete. Level up, a nice chunk of magic crystals, and some potions. But more importantly, another S++ clear rating and another platinum badge, he's collecting these things like they're Happy Meal toys. Back at the apartment, Cossack is praising Ju Hyuk for his hard work. And our boy, with the beautiful honesty of a man who knows he's cheesing the system, is like, but I literally don't do anything. Cossack, the ultimate hype man, insists that just entering the tower is the hardest part. Ju Hyuk is just eating up the praise. He's so happy with his zero-effort clears that he decides he should give his carry a little present for all his hard work. The man who did nothing is about to reward the man who did everything. And what reward does he offer this interdimensional assassin? Cash. He pulls out a 50,000 won bill and tells him to go have fun and eat something delicious. He's treating his summoned weapon like a son he's giving an allowance to. But wait, Cossack refuses. He says he can't leave Summoner Bong's side and will just watch TV at home. Ju Hyuk is absolutely floored. He's just discovered a loophole in absolute obedience. Turns out, his OP summon is also a very clingy roommate. So, Ju Hyuk pivots to the ultimate negotiation tactic. Then, should I order some chicken? And this is the reaction. The stone-cold killer who just slaughtered a floor of monsters transforms into a gleeful child in a chicken hat. We've discovered his weakness. It's fried chicken. While the honey cheese butter chicken is on the way, a man of exquisite taste, Ju Hyuk decides to check his inventory. Priorities, you know. Food first, then managing the loot. First up, a new tower-only healing potion. His immediate thought? I can give this to Mr. Cossack. He's already thinking about how to maintain his carry's HP bar. Smart. And now for the main event, the magic crystals. He's already stacked up 3.6 kilograms, worth about 1.8 million won. Our debt-ridden king is slowly becoming a crystal mogul. He's finally thinking about cashing in. It's day 10 of his tower climbing journey. He's so over his part-time jobs. He recalls how he only meant to dip his toes in, but he's accidentally become a diligent player, grinding one floor per day. And it's been an absolute cakewalk. Floor 9 was some jungle man-eating corpse flower thing, which was also super easy. Well, easy for Cossack. For Ju Hyuk, clear success is a given, and the S++ rewards are just a bonus. He's feeling so good, so reassured by his powerful summon, and then he gets a flash of memory. Oh right, he thinks, I almost forgot he's a crazy assassin who killed 3 people. It's easy to forget that when the guy wears a chicken hat and gets excited for takeout. And just then, a system notification pops up. The payoff for all that chicken and praise. John Cossack's satisfaction rating has been set to 5 stars, the reward? His manifestation time increases by 1 more hour, the cheese strategy is getting even more broken. Look at his face. That is the face of pure, unadulterated joy. All his hard work of ordering food and giving compliments is finally paying off big time. And Cossack is just as thrilled, making a heart gesture and promising to be reliable. This is the most wholesome relationship between a wimp and a cold-blooded murderer you will ever see. Alright, it's time for floor 10, a major milestone in any game. And the system drops a massive update on him. Physical abilities enhanced to match his level. And the big one, trait and combat skill use is now available. Hold on, is our boy finally getting stats of his own? As they step into the 10th floor, he can already feel the change. The promised stat boost, the physical readjustment, is kicking in. And there it is. A surge of overflowing strength and mysterious magical power. This is the classic level up glow up. He's no longer just a spectator with a summon button, he's actually in the game now. And how does our MC describe this newfound power? He has become an untamable wild stallion. Okay, buddy, let's slow your roll. You just got your first set of buffs, you're not a world boss yet. High on his new stallion energy, he puts a hand on Cossack's shoulder and, with his horse Sona in the background, declares, from now on, I'll help too. Cossack immediately goes into panic mode. No. If Summoner Bong gets even a single scratch, I'll have to bash my own head in. It's the ultimate overprotective carry. Ju Hyuk tries to argue that he's a wild stallion now, but Cossack is not having it. Apparently, praise is enough. But Ju Hyuk, channeling his inner horseman, is determined. His stallion spirit is telling him he absolutely must fight this time. the student is finally ready to leave the tutorial. Maybe. All that talk about being a wild stallion, all that newfound confidence, and then the floor 10 boss peeks around the corner. That giant, unblinking eye is the stuff of nightmares, and just like that, our boy's horse Sona gets scared right out of him. And here it is, the floor 10 monster reveal. It's a giant mantis, and it is absolutely massive. All that bravado from his level up has completely evaporated. This is the moment he realizes that stats aren't everything when the boss is the size of a building. And cue the full-blown panic. The wild stallion is gone, replaced by a terrified dude wondering, how the hell did other players even kill something like that? Welcome to the first real boss check, my friend. It's a tough one. And this is where the comedy peaks. Cossack, looking at this terrifying beast, says it's beneath human dignity for the two of them to gang up on an insect. Our boy, meanwhile, has no dignity left to lose and is all for it. Cossack's pride is on the line, Ju-hyuk's life is on the line. The mantis does not care about your dignity. It's ready to throw down. So much for fighting together. Ju-hyuk immediately reverts to his true calling, being a cheerleader on the sidelines. All that talk about being a stallion, and he's right back to holding the pom-poms. And so, with his summoner safely out of the way, Cossack steps up to face the giant insect alone. One man versus one kaiju-sized bug. Place your bets now. And it's not a fight. It's a slaughter. Cossack moves like a blur, unleashing a flurry of attacks that the mantis can't even track. That's the look of a pro who's been farming this content for years. The boss monster doesn't stand a chance. And just like that, the giant mantis is diced into a million pieces. It's absolute overkill. The boss just got deleted from the server. Let's check the after-action report. Mission success. Level up. A whole kilogram of magic crystals. And, as is tradition, another S++ clear rating and a platinum badge. It's just another day at the office. And Cossack finishes it off with a skill that looks like it belongs in a Final Fantasy cutscene. A little bit of flair to celebrate another effortless victory. And with the boss dead, the system gives him the boot. Time to head back home and count the loot. Another kilogram of magic crystals gets added to the stash. He's now sitting on a whopping 5.5 kilograms, our boy is getting rich just by standing around. He remembers that he got a special privilege at 5 platinum badges. Now he's got even more. He's been racking these up without even realizing what the ultimate prize is. And here it is. The system announces a special privilege for accumulating 10 platinum badges. This is the milestone reward, the kind of thing that can completely change your character build. He's practically vibrating with excitement. A new privilege? What could it be? He's got that look of a kid on Christmas morning who knows he's about to unwrap a new console. And the reward is insane. You can copy one skill possessed by the summoned. The system gives him a massive list of Cossack skills: blade explosion, shadow step, stealth, invisibility. This is a game changer. He can finally get a combat skill of his own. Ju-hyuk is stunned. Skill copy? The possibilities are endless. He's looking at a literal menu of OP assassin skills, and he gets to pick one for free. But before he can even start theory crafting, Cossack, the expert gamer, gives his recommendation. No hesitation. Definitely shadow step. He tells him not to ask, not to question, just learn it. Ju-hyuk asks why, and Cossack's reasoning is just perfect. Why shadow step? Because it's convenient for running away. Not for attacking, not for fancy moves. For escaping. Even Cossack knows our boy's primary role is to not die. And Ju-hyuk is personally offended. Running away. Do I look like someone who'd run away to only save myself? He thinks. Yes. Yes, you do. That is exactly what you look like. But, despite his wounded pride, he listens to the pro. He acquires the skill. Shadow Step is now officially part of his build. Cossack tries to sell it to him, saying footwork is the life of fighting, that being fast is super important. It's a hilarious attempt to rebrand an escape skill as a core combat mechanic. Ju Hyuk looks very, very serious, and unconvinced. So, of course, the first thing he does is try to use it in the real world. He yells, "Shadow Step," and just stumbles forward like a normal person. The cool anime move doesn't work outside the tower, and he just looks like a fool while his assassin Carrie watches from the doorway. He collapses on the floor, throwing a tantrum. He complains that if the system lets him summon things, it should let him use skills in the real world too. It's not consistent. And Cossack, bless his heart, just agrees with him, having absolutely no idea what he's talking about. We jump to day 11 of his tower climbing adventure. And our boy is on the phone, looking nervous but determined. He's making a big move. He's done it. He's actually done it. He stammers through the introduction, but he gets it out. "My name is Bong Ju-hyuk. I awakened, so I'm calling." He has no idea that he's basically turning himself into the people hunting him. The reaction from the agency call center is pure, over-the-top excitement. They congratulate him and immediately ask if government staff can visit his residence. Before he can even process it, he's giving them his address. He just willingly walked into the lion's den. And the narration tells us that this phone call was the bravest decision of his 25 years of life, the sheer irony. He thinks making a phone call is the peak of bravery, completely unaware that the government is about to descend on him for breaking the game. Meanwhile, while Ju Hyuk is recovering from his act of bravery, the agency is already on the move. The black cars are out. They are not messing around. And we see team leader John and manager Lee in the car. They're frustrated. They've been chasing leads on the S++ ranker, but everyone has been a bust. They have no idea they're about to hit the jackpot by accident. Min-ah mentions another awakening application just came in our boys. Gwang-ael agrees they have to check out every lead, no matter how small. The two plot threads are about to crash into each other spectacularly. Gwang-ael gets that deadly serious look. He reaffirms that if they find the S++ ranker, they have to recruit them to the elite team, no matter what it takes. They are ready to shower this mystery player with every perk imaginable. And what is our future elite player doing to prepare for this high-stakes meeting? He's frantically cleaning his tiny, messy apartment. Taking out the trash, wiping the floors. His priorities are just perfect. And then, the knock comes. "Is anyone home? We're from the Awaken Management Agency." They're here. And Ju Hyuk is completely startled. He wasn't expecting them to be this fast. He opens the door and welcomes them in, apologizing for the small space. He has no idea who he's talking to. He just sees two government employees. Team leader John introduces himself, and the trap is set. Gwang-ael introduces his partner, manager Lee Min-ah, mentioning that she's also a player. Ju Hyuk gets all flustered, mostly because oh my god, a woman. He introduces himself, still completely oblivious. But then, things get serious. Min-ah, the player, gets right up in his face, looking at him with an intensity that he is not prepared for. She's not just making small talk, she's scanning him. Cliffhanger time. She leans in close, a look of shocked realization on her face. "It's you, isn't it?" she says, before delivering the final blow, the word that changes everything, S++. The secret is out. He's been found. Agent Kim pins Bong Ju-hyuk against the wall, asking if he's the mysterious S++ clearer. Ju-hyuk panics, sweating buckets as he tries to play it cool. He's terrified they have some secret way of sniffing out awakened players. Rule number 1 for wimps: deny everything and act natural. He puts on the most robotic, fake smile in human history. Agent Kim isn't buying it for a second. That's a classic lying face if she's ever seen one. John Guangyel steps in, telling her to stop interrogating the poor kid. The team leader apologizes for the scare. Ju Hyuk realizes he was just being tested. Time for some propaganda. Meet Tabi, the adorable mascot of the Black Tower. 20 years ago, towers appeared overnight across the globe. Science and military were useless, invisible walls blocked everyone out. Only players can enter the tower's game-like floors. Inside, they gain epic skills and gear that boost the world economy. But there's a catch: if floors aren't cleared, a countdown to catastrophe begins. 3 years ago, Mumbai was wiped off the map after its tower collapsed. Korea got lucky with just one tower hidden deep in the mountains. Our player count is small, but our progress is neck and neck with the US. These players are hailed as modern-day heroes. Orientation over. John Guangyel gets down to business. Ju Hyuk proves he's awakened by dumping a handful of mana crystals on the table. The agents freeze. Reaching the 10th floor matches the global S++ record. Agent Kim narrows her eyes. Is this shivering wimp actually the record breaker? She asks point blank if he's heard about the recent S++ clear. Ju Hyuk gives a shaky thumbs up, pretending he's just a huge fan of whoever did it. Internally, he's screaming. He just needs to act like a total coward. John Guangyel explains the two paths, elite or general. Elites tackle the dangerous high floors, while generals work as freelancers. Elites get all the funding, but they lose every ounce of privacy. Ju Hyuk knows that if he joins the elites, his secret is toast. He'd be a celebrity, followed by cameras every second of the day. For a guy trying to stay under the radar, this is a literal nightmare. And the kicker? Elite players have to wear government body cams on every run. Ju Hyuk immediately rejects the elite offer, much to John Guangyel's surprise. He claims he's not talented and is way too scared of the tower. I'll just stick to the safe floors and take the easy rewards, he says with a grin. John Guangyel tries to push, but Ju Hyuk's mind is made up. Agent Kim turns away, her suspicion turning into pure disgust. To her, a wimp who won't climb doesn't even deserve the title of a player. She believes true players are defined by their determination. John Guangyel accepts his choice, though the disappointment is palpable. Final step: Ju Hyuk has to enter the tower right now for confirmation. Ju Hyuk agrees to a quick run, hoping it'll finally get the agents off his back. He warns them it might take a couple of hours, trying to lower their expectations. Agent Kim tells him to relax. They'll just hang out in his living room until he's done. Deep breaths. Ju Hyuk readies himself to step back into the tower. He tells them to make themselves at home. Free drinks in the fridge and everything. And just like that, he vanishes into the blue light of the portal. With him gone, John Guangyel asks Agent Kim for her honest assessment of the kid. Her verdict? He's too timid and lacks the guts to make it past the 11th floor. Speaking of floor 11, it's home to the long-tailed burrow centipede. Gross. You have to slay 100 of these creeps. She's sure he'll just freak out and run. She bets everything that he'll withdraw the second things get hairy. John Guangyel isn't so sure, but he decides to give the director an update anyway. Inside the tower, Ju Hyuk summons his ace in the hole, John Cossack. Cossack appears with a crisp salute, ready to get to work. Ju Hyuk lays down the law: no speedrunning today. We're going slow and steady. Cossack gives a thumbs up. He's all about playing it safe this time. Ju Hyuk wants a nice, sloppy run to prove he's just an average Joe. Cossack begins the hunt, but even his lazy mode is pretty terrifying. Ju Hyuk has to keep reminding him to take it easy. We've got time to kill. Finally, the pace seems perfect. No record-breaking notices today. Or so he thought. A giant centipede erupts from the dirt right under his feet. Ju Hyuk is tossed like a ragdoll, completely paralyzed by fear. His brain is screaming to run, but his body has officially left the building. Seeing his master in trouble, Cossack's protective instincts kick into overdrive. He charges in, absolutely refusing to let any vermin touch Ju Hyuk. The slow run is officially over. Cossack turns the forest into a blender. Ju Hyuk can only watch in horror as his plan for a sloppy run goes up in smoke. He yells for Cossack to slow down, but the assassin is already on a rampage. Cossack's logic is simple: your safety is more important than any order. Ju Hyuk panics. If he clears this too fast, his secret is out for good. Too late. The system announces an S++ clear for Korea's 11th floor. The 12th floor is unlocked, and Cossack offers a polite apology for the overkill. Ju Hyuk steps out of the portal, looking like his soul has left his body. Back in the real world, Agent Kim notes it's only been 5 minutes. Suddenly, a massive holographic notice appears right in front of them. It's another S++ global record. The agent's jaws hit the floor. Ju Hyuk emerges from the room, glowing with a menacing blue aura. The timing is impossible. There's no way he's just a timid rookie anymore. They connect the dots, an S++ clear appeared the exact second he entered the tower. Ju Hyuk's expression turns cold. He really didn't want things to go this way. With Cossack looming behind him, he tells the agents they're going to have to be silenced. John Cossack prepares to strike with lethal precision. One look at those eyes and you know it's over. A clean sweep, the agents are down before they can even blink. Bong Ju Hyuk snaps awake, screaming at the top of his lungs. He's drowning in a cold sweat after that brutal nightmare. The image of his guests' heads on the floor is a sight he won't forget. Turns out, Agent Kim and his colleague are actually right there. Ju Hyuk scrambles back, terrified his dream just came true. He tries to play it cool while they sit down for business. Ju Hyuk laughs it off, claiming the S++ rank was just a glitch. Agent Kim isn't buying that coincidence act for a second. They've confirmed he's an awakener, so it's time for the contract. Ju Hyuk's eyes nearly pop out when he sees the terms. This isn't just any deal, it's a one-of-a-kind elite contract. The ultra-elite contract, every player's wildest dream. It offers a multi-billion won salary and a personal security detail. Plus immunity privileges that basically put him above the law. He'd be living like royalty, just like top ranker Yu Cheo-min. But to their absolute shock, he gives a firm no. He demands a standard contract or he's quitting the player life. The agents are baffled as Ju Hyuk admits he hates the spotlight. To him, getting attention is a physical burden he can't handle. In short, the guy is an extreme introvert who just wants peace. He's worried about the future and hates the heavy responsibility. Agent Kim realizes pushing him now will only backfire. They shake hands on the standard deal, much to his relief. The agents leave, still trying to wrap their heads around him. Ju Hyuk is just happy he can live a quiet, comfortable life. Meanwhile, news of the rejection reaches the management office. Inside, Bureau head Park Hak-soo is fuming over the report. He can't believe an S++ ranker is this timid and unmotivated. To him, Ju Hyuk is a rare breed of small-time citizen. But there's no mistake, the timing of the clear was too perfect. The boss slams his desk, ordering them to recruit him at all costs. Agent Kim accepts the mission to bring the Wimp into the fold. Back at home, Ju Hyuk lays down the law with John Cossack. He warns the summoned to stay gentle or face immediate unsummoning. It's time to hit the 12th floor and hunt some ice-icicle spear weasels. They enter the frozen wasteland, and Ju Hyuk says to take it slow. Cossack promises absolute loyalty as they prepare to depart. But the freezing cold hits Ju Hyuk like a freight train. Ju Hyuk is shivering like a leaf. It's way colder than he expected. John Cossack is panicking more than his master, promising a warm room soon. Ju Hyuk tries to tell him to slow down, but his summon is already in gear. To John Cossack, a simple cold is basically an incurable death sentence. Ju Hyuk is just caught in the crossfire as his summon goes total overkill. Another floor, another S++ rank. He just snagged another platinum badge. Agent Kim is practically choking on his coffee seeing the latest clear time. Back home, Ju Hyuk is moping while John Cossack is just happy to be helpful. After a quick scolding, Ju Hyuk decides to unsummon his hyperactive ninja. He's not letting John Cossack relax until the guy learns some actual restraint. Floor 13 is basically a giant game of don't get sliced by traps. John Cossack decides to just carry him through the danger like a sack of potatoes. They're tearing through these trap mechanisms at record-breaking speeds. Floor 13 clear. S++ rank again. The system is probably getting bored. Next up, giant eyeball bats. John Cossack is mid-swing before they can blink. Another floor bites the dust. Rank S++ is starting to feel like the default. Time for the best part, checking the bank account. The numbers don't lie. 7,000,001 in just 2 weeks. Ju Hyuk's brain is starting to do math. At this rate, he's looking at 30 million a month. Goodbye, part-time job. Next day, John Cossack is back and ready to beg for a perfect 5-star review. Ju Hyuk has a change of heart, no more slow clears. It's time to speedrun. The bureau probably already knows he's OP, so why even bother hiding it? Besides, he's starting to get a real taste for those sweet, sweet perks. With the greed kicking in, the duo dives right back into the tower. Floor 15, the mission is to take out 20 goblin workers. These guys actually have brains, making them way more annoying to clear. Ju Hyuk hides behind a tree like a pro while John Cossack stalks his prey. John Cossack's got that "I'm about to end their whole career" smile going. He pops his stealth skill, turning into a literal ghost on the battlefield. The goblos don't even have time to scream before their heads start rolling. Mission complete. Level up, more magic stones, and a side of healing potions. That's a clean S++ clear. He even gets a fancy new owner emblem. With the work done, the pair warps back to the safety of the real world. Ju Hyuk counts his winnings. He's officially sitting on 15 badges. Reaching 15 triggers a special milestone reward from the system. After trait enhancement and skill copy, he's dying to see what's next. After stacking 15 platinum badges, Ju Hyuk finally unlocks a new reward, the Energy Shield Kit. It's a gold bracelet that creates a protective barrier, though it comes with a 5-hour cooldown. He activates it, and a digital blue armor envelopes him. Best part? This thing even works in the real world. Ju Hyuk is glowing blue and feeling like a straight-up superhero. Talk about a major glow-up. Looking at the gold band, he wonders how many billions he could get if he just sold it and retired. He asks John Cossack if they can tackle the next floor, but his summon is way too busy eating fried chicken. Ju Hyuk is sweating. He's torn between the safety of his couch and the lure of even better rewards. Cossack just keeps munching on his snack, completely unbothered by his master's midlife crisis. The dollar signs are practically visible in Ju Hyuk's eyes. The temptation to cash out is getting real. Over at the bureau, the agents are monitoring the latest records and things aren't looking great. They report that Ju Hyuk has been stuck on the 15th floor for 2 weeks now without making a move. Park Hak-soo slams the table in frustration. He can't believe such a talented player is this much of a wimp. One agent tries to defend him, suggesting that the difficulty spike might just be too much for the kid. Suddenly, an alert pops up. Ju Hyuk is finally on the move and he wants to access the player shop. Park Hak-soo is stunned. The legendary wimp is actually planning to spend some of his hard-earned cash. They realize he wasn't stuck, he was just farming for funds like a total pro. The kid's a grinder. Park Hak-soo slams his desk again, regretting that they ever doubted the kid's hustle. He orders them to give Ju Hyuk a massive discount on everything. Meanwhile, we jump back 15 days. John Cossack looks like he's just seen a ghost, or maybe something even scarier, his master's logic. Ju Hyuk lifts his shirt and asks his summon to give him a little stab just to test out the new shield. Cossack is absolutely horrified, begging his master to just beat him instead of making him do that. He covers his ears and shakes his head, hoping if he ignores the request, it'll just go away. Since Cossack won't do it, Ju Hyuk takes matters into his own hands and stabs himself. Bold move. Too bold. He forgot to turn the shield on and starts bleeding out while Cossack loses his mind. After a quick heal, Ju Hyuk gets a lecture on safety before sending Cossack out to finish the hunt. Cossack takes out all his frustration on the local wildlife, turning the forest into a total war zone. While his summon does all the heavy lifting, Ju Hyuk decides to actually practice some skills. He focuses on mastering Shadow Step, a move designed to make him a lot harder to catch. He blurs through the trees, leaving blue trails behind him. He's actually starting to look like a pro. The free movement feels amazing. He's basically a ninja now, which is perfect for running away. He stops dead in his tracks when he notices something watching him from the shadows of the forest. A green goblin is lurking in the bushes, and it definitely doesn't look like it wants to be friends. Ju Hyuk spots the creature and immediately regrets leaving his bodyguard's side for even a second. He tries to stay perfectly still, but his luck isn't that good. The monster is already locked on. The goblin lunges forward with a terrifying screech, aiming straight for the kill. Just in time, Ju Hyuk activates his shield. The monster's bite clanks harmlessly against blue energy. He sends the creature flying with a desperate kick, surprising even himself with a quick reflex. Cossack senses the danger and teleports back instantly, ready to protect his clumsy master. The summon makes quick work of the trash mobs, slicing through them like they're made of paper. Cossack's eyes glow with intensity. He really hates it when anything dares to touch his summoner. He rushes in to finish the job, making sure not a single one of these green freaks is left standing. John Cossack rushes back, panicked that his master might have actually done something productive. He starts sniffing Bong Joo-hyuk like a search dog, making sure he hasn't gained any unwanted holes. The summon is genuinely mad, lecturing him that being too brave is basically a death sentence for a wimp. Turns out, Bong Joo-hyuk spent half a month farming the same floor, stacking over 11 million won in mana stones. He calls up the agency to hit the shop, and they're so desperate to keep him happy they offer a limo service. A stretch limo rolls up to the curb. Guess the S++ rank comes with some pretty sweet perks. Bong Joo-hyuk hops out, feeling way out of his league while a team leader greets him with a giant grin. He's getting the full VIP treatment from John Gwang-il, which is honestly more terrifying than the goblins. After a quick vein scan, he's officially in the system. No turning back from the hero life now. John Gwang-il offers a guided tour, but our boy just wants to browse in peace without being watched. He steps into the player shop, which looks more like a high-end jewelry store than an armory. The place is decked out in gold and glass, but there isn't another soul in sight. A little suspicious. Everything looks way too expensive for a beginner, so he decides to unload his stash of stones first. The clerk confirms the haul is worth over 11 million won. Bong Joo-hyuk is officially a millionaire. He's got shopping fever, wanting to grab what he needs and get out before he spends it all. Meanwhile, Park Hak-soo is watching from his office, having cleared the shop just for their VIP. They're marking everything down by 90% because they don't want to scare the timid boy away with freebies. Bong Joo-hyuk gears up with an adamant mace and some basilisk leather boots, looking like a budget hero. He knows these prices are absolute highway robbery, but he's not about to complain about a steal. The special treatment is starting to feel like a burden, but hey, at least the boots are cute. Back at home, he admires his new drip. Combined with his shield, he's finally got some decent defense. The taste of high-tier loot has him hooked. Greed is a hell of a drug for a former wimp. The next day, it's time to get back to business. John Cossack is called back to duty. The assassin salutes his master, ready to finally move past the 15th floor and start climbing. Bong Joo-hyuk notices his summoning cooldown is reset. Why stop at one bodyguard? He starts praying to every god he knows before hitting the random summon button. Big mistake. A massive explosion of purple energy fills the room, catching even John Cossack off guard. The figure continues to grow in size, eventually growing so tall it busts through the ceiling. Bong Joo-hyuk is having an immediate panic attack. He just wanted a helper, not a world ender. A massive, tattooed giant appears out of nowhere. Bong Joo-hyuk can barely process the size of this guy. The giant stares him down with glowing red eyes. Definitely doesn't look like a friendly summon. John Cossack doesn't wait for an intro and immediately launches a kick at the newcomer. The kick connects right with the giant's head, but he doesn't even flinch. Cossack keeps spamming attacks while Joo-hyuk watches the one-sided beatdown in total confusion. The giant just sits there, completely unbothered. To him, these lethal strikes just feel like tickles. Cossack is done playing around and draws his daggers to finish the job. Joo-hyuk jumps in the middle to stop his assassin from committing murder in the living room. Cossack finally chills out, but Joo-hyuk is busy crying over his ruined ceiling. Cossack explains that this guy is a legendary moron back in their world. The giant tries to remember the basic laws of summons, but his brain is clearly lagging. Cossack tells his master he pulled a total dud and should just kill him off for 100 days. Joo-hyuk pulls up the stats. Rank R, dim-witted savage meets shield. Talk about a letdown. He's depressed that he pulled the absolute lowest rank possible. He tries to interview the guy, but the giant has zero memories of anything. Joo-hyuk checks the deeper specs and suddenly gets hit by a weird sensation. Just like before, he's being sucked into the summon's memories. He lands in a beautiful green field. In the memory, the giant is just a peaceful soul enjoying the butterflies. That peace is short-lived when a pack of giant wolves decides to test. He proceeds to rip the wolves apart with a smile. His physical stats are actually insane. But then we see the catch. He's way too simple-minded. A shady-looking hero named Arius shows up with a smug grin. Arius introduces himself to the giant, who can't even remember his own name. Arius leads him into a fight against a hydra, using him as nothing but bait. The giant fights like a beast, tearing off heads even as his own skin melts from acid. He eventually dies in the dirt while his supposed comrades just laugh at his stupidity. Seeing the skeleton in the acid, Ju-hyuk is disgusted by how the guy was treated. He decides he doesn't care if the giant is a bit slow. He officially welcomes the giant back to the land of the living. Ju-hyuk offers him a choice of names: Gobang or Yaman. The giant settles on Gobang. Ju-hyuk promises to treat him better and make him happy. He tells Cossack they're all a team now. The assassin looks like he wants to quit. Calculations finished. It's time to test this new lineup. Ju-hyuk rallies the troops and prepares to enter the tower's 16th floor. Cossack and Gobang are already bickering on the way in. The trio teleports into the dungeon. The mission: take down 30 goblin scouts. Easy enough, right? Goblins are already lurking in the shadows, ready for an ambush. A goblin fires a poison needle straight at them. John Cossack moves at lightning speed to block a poison needle aimed right for Ju-hyuk's head. It's a total ambush. Goblins are swarming out from every corner of the forest. Cossack tells his master to stay back while he holds the line against the first wave. Ju-hyuk realizes they're in deep trouble. There are way more than 50 of these pests lying in wait. He calls for his new tank to step up. It's time for Gobang to earn his keep and block the path. The giant's eyes glow with a primal fury. He's been waiting for a chance to let loose. Gobang launches himself into the air like a massive cannonball, aimed straight for the middle of the pack. The goblins look up just in time to see a massive shadow blotting out the sun as the giant descends. He slams into the ground with a massive explosion, sending goblins flying in every direction. Even the elite assassin Cossack is blown away by the raw power of that landing. Ju-hyuk watches from behind his shield, completely amazed. In this weight class, it's not even a fight. Goblins fire poison needles, but they just bounce off Gobang's chest. He says it just tickles. He goes on an absolute rampage, treating the goblin scouts like they're made of paper. Ju-hyuk is stunned. This guy is Renkar? He's playing like a straight-up SSR unit. After the hunt, it's reward time. Ju-hyuk treats the crew to several boxes of fried chicken. Gobang is already inhaling the drumsticks. He calls it kitchen and declares it tasty. Cossack is busy complaining about the spicy seasoning while Gobang ignores him and keeps eating. Between bites, Gobang decides that his new summoner is actually a pretty good person. He promises to give his life for his master, as long as the kitchen keeps coming. Cossack loses his cool and tries to correct the giant's grammar with a well-placed smack to the head. Ju-hyuk has to step in before his summons start a civil war over some chicken wings. The next day, the trio heads to the 17th floor of the Korea Black Tower to continue the climb. Reaching level 17 has Ju-hyuk feeling like he could take on the entire world. He feels a wild stallion of power waking up inside him. Overconfidence is a hell of a drug. Cossack and Gobang take point, promising to keep their master safe while they take on the floor. The mission is to take out 30 goblin warriors. Sounds easy enough on paper. But seeing a battalion of 90 battle-ready goblins in person is a whole different level of pressure. The standard strategy is to lure them out 3 at a time. It's safe, but it's painfully slow. Ju-hyuk looks at his meat shield. He's done being a wimp and following the walkthrough videos. He tosses the strategy guide aside and gives the order to move out and attack. Gobang lets out a roar that shakes the very trees as he powers up for the slaughter. Ju-hyuk gives the simple command, wipe them all out. He's ready for his next big perk. Gobang is tossing these goblins around like they're made of paper. Total carnage. Bong Ju-hyuk can barely believe his eyes. His new summon is an absolute beast. It's not even a fight anymore, it's like a tank rolling over rental bikes. Floor 17 is a wrap. He lands an S++ rank and a shiny new platinum badge. Ju-hyuk is thrilled, but John Cossack is lurking in the back, looking seriously salty. Back at headquarters, officials are losing their minds over Ju-hyuk's insane performance. Next up, Floor 18. The mission is to hunt down 30 goblin assassins. Gobang charges ahead, ready to smash everything in his path. Typical. But these goblins are stealth experts, vanishing into thin air before he can strike. Gobang is just swinging at empty air while the assassins dance around him. Ju-hyuk realizes his muscle-bound tank is completely out of his element here. The big guy is getting frustrated. It's hard to smash what you can't see. Cossack steps up, eager to show that ignorant bastard how a real pro handles business. He activates Shadow Step and vanishes into the gloom. Look at him go. In a flash, Cossack is racking up kills like it's a game, showing off his elite skills. Ju-hyuk watches the assassin work, his own brain already copying every move. He flashes a devious grin, he's perfectly manipulated Cossack's competitive spirit. Cossack is going all out now, determined to reclaim his spot as the top summon. Ju-hyuk checks his status, he's hit level 18 and feels a new power surging. He pulls out his weapon, deciding it's time to stop watching and join the hunt. He's ready to unleash the hidden talent he's been honing in secret. He taps into his inner beast, feeling like a wild stallion ready to bolt. He channels that energy, maybe a little too literally. Talk about a horse face. Ju-hyuk focuses, his perception sharpening until he can see the hidden enemies. He's been practicing Cossack's Shadow Step and he's ready for the live debut. He moves with surprising speed, closing the distance on a confused goblin. His balance fails him mid-air, and he ends up in a frantic, accidental somersault. The clumsy spin actually works, and he smashes an assassin's face into the dirt. That's 10 kills for the Wimp. He's actually contributing for once. He tries to act cool, claiming that disaster of a move was totally intended. Another goblin tries to jump him, but Ju-hyuk senses the attack coming. Meanwhile, Cossack is still a whirlwind of death, clearing the field with ease. The count is at 27. Just 3 more goblins until the floor is cleared. Gobang isn't staying behind either, crushing every goblin he manages to catch. The two summons are practically fighting over who gets the final kills. Cossack pauses to look around, wondering where his summoner disappeared to. Ju-hyuk barely dodges a lethal strike, moving faster than he ever has before. He thanks his lucky stars for his energy shield, he'd be a goner without it. He's surrounded by assassins, but he's not panicking. He's locked in. Adrenaline hits, and the world starts moving in slow motion. He sees every opening. With a perfect, terrifyingly fast strike, he slices through the final enemies. Floor 18 is officially cleared. Another S++ rank and a platinum badge for the collection. Ju-hyuk's feeling himself after that final blow. Who knew being a wimp could be so profitable? But while the boss celebrates, John Cossack is having a full-blown existential crisis in the background. Over at the bureau, Agent Kim catches the global alert. 18 floors, 18 perfect clears. Bureau head Park Haksu is first introduced as he gets so hyped he's about to punch a hole through his desk. He's dying to reveal their new star, but the office buskills remind him that secrets are safer. Ju-hyuk is now a national asset. They've got to treat him with more care than their top elite teams. An 18-floor S++ streak? Tower history is being rewritten, and the whole world is watching. Everyone's hunting for the mystery player's identity, but they've only got him pegged at level 19. Back at home base, Cossack is staring at Ju-hyuk like he just watched a puppy kill a dragon. The assassin is genuinely shaken by how fast Ju-hyuk's monster talent is waking up. Our boy Ju-hyuk is completely clueless, thinking Cossack is just overreacting to a bit of luck. He brushes it off with a laugh, sticking to his safety first, self-preservation mantra. But Cossack knows better. That last move was so flawless even a master assassin would struggle to copy it. He realizes the danger is about to spike once Ju-hyuk actually starts having fun with combat. Ju-hyuk keeps promising to stay out of trouble, totally oblivious to his own growth. Poor Cossack is left in tears, knowing his summoner is about to cause catastrophic trouble for everyone. John Cossack is having a total meltdown while Gobang watches him like he's some kind of zoo animal. The assassin finally snaps and tries to take the big guy's head off. Gobang takes a dive, wrecking the entire kitchen in the process. Ju-hyuk sees his fridge getting destroyed and his soul basically leaves his body. He screams at his summons to knock it off and vanish before the landlord shows up. But the damage is already done. The precious kimchi is all over the floor. RIP. After the domestic chaos, Ju-hyuk decides he needs to clear his head and visit his family. Next morning, he's back at the old apartment complex to see his parents. He walks in like he didn't just spend the night with a homicidal assassin and a barbarian. The house is quiet, which is a nice change from the tower's constant madness. His dad is still recovering in bed while his mom is back to her usual nagging. Ju Hyuk checks on his old man's hip, trying his best to act like everything is normal. Mom's got the stew ready, but Ju Hyuk's brother is out on a grocery run. Nothing beats a home-cooked meal after a long day of eating monster dust. The family sits down to eat, and the mood gets heavy when the talk turns to work. Ju Hyuk takes a bite, wondering how to drop the "I'm a player" bombshell. He tries to test the waters, asking what they'd think if he actually awakened. They just laugh it off. The wimp of the family being a hero is the joke of the century. Mom asks about his job, not knowing he's already quit to raid towers full-time. He lies about having a day off, but his nervous face is doing him zero favors. She says she trusts her son, which only makes the guilt hit 10 times harder. Seeing his family struggle reminds him why he's doing this. No more loan sharks. He remembers the news about what happens when people can't pay those smile cash guys. He shifts the focus, asking why his mom isn't at her job lately. Turns out she got fired for standing up to a rude customer who treated her like trash. She's got a personality that won't stand for injustice, even if it costs her a paycheck. His dad just laughs, still proud of the fiery woman he fell for years ago. It's official. The family tree is just a long line of beta males with pathetic genes. Ju Hyuk decides to wait for a better time to explain his new life as a powerhouse. He hands his brother a stack of cash to give to their parents for allowance. His brother stops him, and for a second, Ju Hyuk thinks he's been caught. The kid looks all bashful and hesitant, like he's about to say something deep. Ju Hyuk assumes he's just feeling shy about saying thank you for the help. Nope. The brat just wants to know where his cut of the money is. The look on Ju Hyuk's face says it all. Little brothers are the same everywhere. He transfers the cash just to shut him up. 500,000 won down the drain. Next stop, the Awakening Management Department. Time to get serious about this career. Seeing his family really lit a fire under him to do this properly. He runs into an agent who reminds him to call ahead before visiting the player shops. Ju Hyuk knows the monsters are only getting tougher as he climbs higher. The clerk shows off a shiny new shield that looks perfect for a professional wimp. Then he sees the price tag. 100 million won. This tower life is way too expensive. The first shield is way too heavy and way too expensive for his current budget. The clerk offers a light adamantium alloy shield that even has a self-repair function. It's a perfect match. Ju Hyuk is finally starting to feel like a real tank. The price is 40 million won. His bank account is about to take a massive hit. Payment complete. There goes all his hard-earned tower money in one click. Honestly, dealing with retail staff is more stressful than fighting a horde of goblins. Gear secured. Now it's finally time to head back home and test it out. A stranger is leaning against the wall outside, clearly waiting for him to finish shopping. He introduces himself as Choi Hoseok, claiming to be a fellow high-level player. Hoseok is apparently clearing the 30th floors and wants to act like a mentor. He offers to help Ju Hyuk out if the tower ever gets too difficult for him. Ju Hyuk thinks he's found a kind soul. Poor guy has no idea he's being targeted. The friendly stranger waves goodbye, leaving Ju Hyuk impressed by his insider vibe. Back at the apartment, the sun finally sets on a long day of spending money. Ju Hyuk hits level 19. He's officially ready to tackle the 19th floor tomorrow. But first, he needs to have a little business meeting with his top assassin. Cossack is summoned and he is not happy about being brought out for no reason. Ju Hyuk shows off the new shield, but Cossack just thinks he's playing house. The assassin demands a promise, no more reckless charging into danger. Ju Hyuk is more than happy to agree. Safety is his top priority as a wimp. Cossack's advice? If things go south, just sacrifice Gobang and run for your life. Suddenly, Cossack catches a whiff of something delicious in the apartment air. Ju Hyuk bought him king dumplings as a bribe for his continued loyalty and work. The assassin's cold heart melts instantly. Free food is the best motivator. They dig in, but Ju Hyuk starts to wonder if he's actually made any enemies. Speak of the devil. There's someone standing right outside the front door. That's not a neighbor. That is pure, unadulterated killing intent. Ju Hyuk immediately activates his energy barrier. And tells Cossack to hide. The door lock gets shattered as someone forces their way into the room. Surprise! It's Choi Hoseok from the shop, and he's brought a gun to the robbery. Ju Hyuk is stunned. So much for that friendly mentor vibe from earlier. Hoseok tracked him home to steal all that expensive gear he just purchased. He demands Ju Hyuk hand over his inventory bracelet and everything inside it. Pointing a gun at a summoner might seem like an easy win in theory. But with John Cossack standing right behind you, it's basically suicide. A direct hit to the skull. That's one way to cancel someone's subscription to life. John Cossack was waiting in the shadows, ready to put an end to this intruder's career. Bong Ju Hyuk is hyped. For once, his summon actually followed the don't kill rule. He's literally crying tears of joy because Cossack managed to use some restraint. But who was this guy? Ju Hyuk realizes he just caught a notorious item broker. These scum target players in the real world to steal their gear. Truly the bottom of the barrel. Agent Kim knows the stakes. Outside the tower, even the best players are just normal civilians. Ju Hyuk realizes he'd be dead meat right now if he hadn't awakened his broken summoning skill. Watching Cossack wrap up the thief like a Christmas present makes Ju Hyuk realize he's got a cheat ability. They decide to just report him and let the cops handle the trash. Easiest cleanup ever. Meanwhile, at the bureau, someone's getting an earful. Agent Kim is annoyed that Ju Hyuk is still buying bargain bin gear instead of signing an elite contract. He imagines Ju Hyuk as a high-tier tank, assuming his mace and shield mean he's a frontline brawler. The agent is already plotting to accidentally leave a full set of epic armor for him to find. But his master plan is interrupted by an urgent call from the player task force. One look at Agent Kim's face and you know someone is about to have a very bad day. He peels out like a madman, rushing to reach Ju Hyuk's place before anything else happens. He sprints up the stairs, probably imagining his career going up in flames if Ju Hyuk got hurt. If his star player is injured, the bureau is going to lose their minds, and he's going to lose his job. He arrives to find the police already cuffing the intruder for a long list of crimes. Ju Hyuk tries to explain what happened, but he's still stuck in his own head. He's already mentally writing a strategy guide for prison life. This kid's anxiety is on another level. Agent Kim isn't in the mood for talk and delivers a slap that definitely reset the thief settings. The criminal is stunned. He wasn't expecting the bureau guy to have hands this heavy. Agent Kim is livid. Trying to rob a player under his watch is basically asking for a death sentence. He calmly brushes off his hands while the thief starts to realize how badly he messed up. Mentioning the NIS has the guy sweating bullets. He's about to enter a world of pain. Crimes against players aren't handled with kid gloves. Things are about to get very dark room very fast. Now the thief is the one begging for mercy, but Agent Kim isn't buying a single word of it. He tells the guy to find a lawyer, though good luck finding one who'll take a case this doomed. They haul the trash away. If he tries to escape into the tower, he'll just pop right back out here anyway. Agent Kim turns to Ju Hyuk with a face that could probably scare the soul out of a person. Ju Hyuk is terrified. The agent's worried expression is way scarier than the actual robber was. Then the agent bows so low he's practically folding in half, apologizing for the lapse in security. He vows to protect Ju Hyuk at all costs. That elite contract is definitely happening now. The next morning, things are finally peaceful. Cossack is back to being his silent, terrifying self. Ju Hyuk asks about the detention center's location just so he can avoid it for the rest of his life. It's time for a new floor. Gobang is summoned and he's learning how to count to 3. They're diving into the 19th floor of the Black Tower. Mission: wipe out 30 goblin shamans. These green pests aren't much of a threat, mostly relying on annoying curses and weak magic. Gobang doesn't care about their magic. He just charges in like a human wrecking ball. The goblins try to cast their little spells, but it's hard to chant when you're being turned into a pancake. Gobang lets out a roar so powerful it literally clears the air of any curses. That's a lot of lung capacity. Ju Hyuk is stunned. He didn't know you could just yell your problems away like that. Cossack tells the big guy to wrap this up quickly, and Gobang is more than happy to oblige. The summons go on an absolute rampage, tearing through the goblins like they're made of paper. Ju Hyuk decides it's finally his turn to shine and gets ready to jump into the fray. Before he can even take a step, the floor is already cleared. Now that's what I call a speed run. Ju Hyuk is left standing there, looking like he just missed the last bus home. Cossack laughs it off, but Ju Hyuk realizes his summons finished early just so he wouldn't have to fight. Another S++ rank and a platinum badge. His record is perfect, even if his ego is taking hits. The next day, they're moving up. Welcome to the 20th floor of the Black Tower. This floor is known as the Talent Evaluator, and the difficulty is rated as atrocious. Fun. Cossack warns him that this place is a death trap filled with every goblin variant imaginable. The summons tell Ju Hyuk to just sit back and relax while they do the heavy lifting. Mascots don't fight. The mission: kill 100 goblins and a boss within 10 hours. Sounds like a Tuesday for these two. Ju Hyuk is annoyed. He's the summoner, but he's being treated like a VIP on a guided tour. Cossack and Gobang start their tactical assault, with the big guy drawing all the attention. The woods are crawling with scouts, warriors, and shamans ready to end their climb. But Ju Hyuk isn't going to just sit on the sidelines this time. He's got a point to prove. Cossack is caught off guard. He didn't expect his wimp of a master to actually try something. A blue streak flashes through the trees as Ju Hyuk finally makes his move. He zooms right past Gobang, leaving the big guy wondering where that breeze came from. Ju Hyuk dives headfirst into the danger, dodging arrows like he's playing a bullet hell game. He's actually doing it. For once, he's the one leading the charge in a real fight. Cossack is losing his mind. His master just sprinted into a kill zone, and he's not happy about it. Since he was a kid, Bong Ju Hyuk was always the introverted type who kept to himself. Things only got tougher in elementary school, especially with his family's tight bank account. By middle school, he was basically a ghost, just another loner in the back of the classroom. High school wasn't any better, spent eating lunch in total silence as the ultimate social outcast. Now, the guy who couldn't even meet a bully's eyes is out here raiding the tower. Monsters are easy, though. They don't judge, and fighting them is just like clearing a game quest. Ju Hyuk's got his game face on, ready to crush them all and collect the rewards. He maneuvers through the trees with insane speed, zipping past the enemy like a pro. A goblin gets absolutely blasted by a skill before it can even draw its weapon. He's moving so fast he's leaving blue streaks behind, cutting through the forest like a blur. Even John Cossack is stunned. How did his master learn the Shadow Walker skill so quickly? But the forest isn't safe yet. Cossack spots an incoming attack and yells for his master to watch out. Arrows rain down, and Ju Hyuk barely brings up his shield in time to deflect the barrage. He sighs in relief, knowing he'd be a pincushion right now if it weren't for his energy barrier. His heart's racing a mile a minute. Maybe he got a little too cocky with that last move. John Cossack leaps into action, dual-wielding daggers as he dives into the goblin horde. The assassin follows orders perfectly, leading the way toward the cliff to secure a better position. Meanwhile, the massive Gobang stands his ground, ready to tank anything that tries to touch his master. Ju Hyuk starting to feel the burn, his stamina tanking as he pushes through the trees. He stops dead in his tracks when he finally reaches the edge of the woods. It's a cliff. He's trapped, and the goblins are already closing in from behind. Panic sets in. He expected an escape route, but there's nothing here but a long drop. The goblins surround him with spears leveled, and for a second, Ju Hyuk thinks he's cooked. He braces for the end, certain he's about to be turned into a human shish kebab. Suddenly, the ground shakes as Gobang looms over the goblins like a vengeful mountain. One massive slam later, and the goblin ambush is literally flattened into the dirt. Cossack looks down from the cliff edge, impressed by the brute force of the big guy's save. He doesn't waste the opening, spinning through the remaining shamans like a deadly tornado. In seconds, the battlefield is littered with goblin corpses and glowing blue energy. Cossack checks the count, looks like they've hit the 100-kill mark for the floor. Ju Hyuk still catching his breath, amazed at how fast his summons cleared the field. But the meatball is a little too close for comfort. Smells like he hasn't showered in an age. A terrifying growl echoes through the canyon, freezing Ju Hyuk where he stands. Meet the hobgoblin, the final, long-legged evolution stage that every goblin dreams of. Ju Hyuk shouts for Gobang to step up as the boss charges into view. The giant lets out a roar of his own, basically telling everyone to leave this beast to him. Gobang catches the boss's sword with his bare hands, stopping the strike cold. The hobgoblin is shocked. Its ultimate strength just met its match in raw muscle. Cossack dives in from above to earn his keep, moving like a shadow across the boss. He plunges his daggers deep, ending the floor boss in a single, surgical strike. Mission complete. Ju Hyuk clears the 20th floor with a perfect record and a fat stack of rewards. He's feeling pretty good about himself, even if he did just stand back and let the summons do everything. Bong Joo-hyuk thanks his team for the carry. His summons are loyal, even if they're a little intense. Another S++ rank clear on the 20th floor. He's stacking up those platinum badges like crazy. The internet is losing its mind over this mystery player. Everyone's dying to know who's speedrunning the tower. Park Hak-soo drops his phone. Too much attention on this player could be a major problem. He decides against controlling the press. If they find out the government knows the identity, information will leak. Instead, he takes a peek at Joo-hyuk's personal file. Time to look into his family situation. Joo-hyuk's father, Bong Suk-yeol, is stuck in a hospital bed after a bad accident. Life's been rough for them. Park Hak-soo pulls some strings to get him into the best rehab center in the country. Fully paid for, obviously. Next up is the little brother, Bong Min-hyuk. A university freshman? A full scholarship should do the trick. Agent Kim is on it. The Awakening Management Department is going all in on supporting Joo-hyuk's family. Back at home, the smell of delivery food is finally here. It's time for a feast. Go-bang is practically vibrating with hunger. Joo-hyuk has to tell the big guy to stay still before he wrecks the place. He throws a blanket over his summons like they're laundry. Can't have the neighbors seeing a giant and an assassin. 12 bowls of jjajangmyeon? The delivery guy thinks they're having a massive party. One free dumpling for that huge order. Joo-hyuk's inner cheapskate is seriously offended by the stingy service. He digs through the bags looking for coupons. Not even one. The audacity is real. He's already got a mountain of them, but his social anxiety won't let him actually use them to order. The coast is clear. The summons crawl out from the blanket, lured by the heavenly smell of black bean noodles. Go-bang is drooling like a waterfall. He's never seen food this good in his life. He's eating so fast Cossack's worried he's going to swallow the ceramic plate whole. Relax, big guy. Joo-hyuk ignores the chaos and checks his inventory. He's got something more important to look at. He's officially collected 20 platinum badges. Time to reap the rewards of all that grinding. He wonders what kind of special perk the system has in store for him this time. A random box? It's basically a loot crate. Let's see if his crazy luck holds up one more time. Joo-hyuk stares at his shiny new random box. This thing could have literally anything inside. He's actually stressed out by how many items are on the list. Too many choices for a wimp. He schemes through the junk. Mana stones and herbs. Totally meh. Then he spots the good stuff. Floor jumping tickets. Now that's how you climb without trying. Multinational access and level up runes. The options are getting way more interesting. An LSSR summon ticket is the dream. If he pulls that, it's game over for the tower. He's already imagining a high-rank summon doing all the hard work while he just vibes. The greed is starting to set in. He can see the potential jackpot right in front of him. Joo-hyuk says a quick prayer and goes for the opening. Please don't be trash. The box starts spinning. Time to see if the RNG gods are actually on his side today. 10 kilograms of mana stones. Well, it's not a legendary summon, but it's basically a pile of cash. He's a bit disappointed, but hey, 5 million won is 5 million won. He'll take it. Round 2. He holds his breath as he opens the second item in the box. Chaos Lightning Staff. He just learned a brand new skill that sounds like it's from a wuxia novel. Last one. He's putting all his hopes into this final draw. Let's go big. Jackpot. He pulls a rune of summon grade up. This is exactly what he needed. Joo-hyuk can't believe his luck. This thing is worth more than any pile of mana stones. It's a game changer. He can finally upgrade his summons to a higher tier. Now he's got a tough choice. He looks at his 2 reliable summons busy stuffing their faces. He considers giving it to John Cossack. They've been through a lot together already. The rune description confirms it. It'll boost a summon's grade based on their potential. Before upgrading anyone, he decides to test out that flashy new lightning skill. Chaos Lightning Staff is a growth-type skill. It infuses blunt weapons with pure electricity. The knowledge of the technique beams directly into his brain. That's one way to study. He tries to unleash Lightning Soul Chaser right there in his living room. Shockingly, nothing happens. Tower skills don't work in reality, and he looks like a total dork. John Cossack just watches him swing a mace around in confusion. Awkward. Ju Hyuk plays it cool with a peace sign. It's a growth skill, okay? Give it time. John Cossack looks like he's losing his mind. He's literally crying over how weak his master is. The next morning, it's time to get back to the grind and see what this skill can actually do. Ju Hyuk sits down to think. He knows why his hooded summon is so worried about him. Normally, summoners are glass cannons. The summons do the fighting while the player hides. It's the perfect strategy for a wimp, but things get complicated when you summon in reality. John Cossack remembers a previous master with the same trait who was way stronger than Ju Hyuk. And even that guy didn't make it. His whole world was wiped out in the end. Ju Hyuk understands the weight of the situation. The stakes are way higher than just climbing a tower. But he's still human. He wants a taste of that tough guy energy with his new attack. Time to bring out the crew. He calls forth his summons to start the training session. John Cossack and Gobang appear, looking like they've aged 10 years from pure stress. John Cossack warns him that an offensive skill could be a double-edged sword for someone like him. He gets serious. Taking on bigger monsters like orcs won't be as easy as clearing out goblins. Wait, what? Ju Hyuk realizes Gobang is ready to tie him up with a butterfly knot for safety. John Cossack is laying down the law. He's got that serious, one-eye glowing look that means business. He's shouting about principle number 3. This isn't a suggestion, it's a direct order. Principle 3 is simple: if his safety and his orders conflict, his survival always comes first. Gobang takes the rules literally and turns Bong Ju Hyuk into a human burrito. Safety first, right? John Cossack isn't having any of it. He tells the wimp to save the drama for the tower. The summons have officially unionized against him. Ju Hyuk's job today? Being a protected meat shield. Ju Hyuk realizes logic won't work here. Time to break out the forbidden technique. He unleashes the sad puppy eyes attack. It's super effective, or at least super annoying for Cossack. He's begging for a chance. Just one monster, killed slowly and carefully. Total wimp energy. John Cossack isn't buying it, but the constant pleading is starting to wear him down. Fine, he gets one shot. But the moment things look dicey, the babysitting continues. They finally enter the 21st floor. It's a dark, rainy forest, perfect for a bit of training. Cossack scouting report: orcs are strong but stupid. Though, maybe still smarter than Gobang. Ju Hyuk is actually excited to practice his new skill. Cossack just wants him to get it over with. Here's the practice dummy, good old Gobang. Ju Hyuk is horrified he actually has to hit him. Gobang is literally asking for it, but Ju Hyuk can't bring himself to smack his giant buddy. Screw the practice dummy. It's way easier to just test this out on a real, live target. Mission start: take down 30 forest orcs in 4 hours. The big guys aren't looking happy. Gobang doesn't wait for a countdown. He's already flying through the air like a wrecking ball. One slam and an orc is turned into a pancake. Gobang definitely lives up to his reputation. John Cossack is a blur of blades, clearing the field before Ju Hyuk can even raise his mace. At this rate, the summons will finish the quest before the hero even lands a single hit. Cossack finally plays nice and corners a terrified orc just for his master. Here's your pity kill. Ju Hyuk is all smiles. It's finally time to show off what that lightning mace can really do. He takes a massive leap, putting every bit of his wimpy strength into this one overhead swing. The first form of lightning's soul chaser is as basic as it gets, just a straight vertical strike. He slams the mace down, and the lightning surge is actually impressive. One orc, fully toasted. Ju Hyuk is feeling himself now. Turns out, this skill is definitely the real deal. Bong Ju Hyuk stands over a fallen enemy, glowing mace in hand. He looks like he's just warming up. Ju Hyuk wipes a bit of blood from his cheek with a smug grin. This is way too easy for him. He looks back, ready for the next round. He's definitely feeling himself today. A massive foot comes down hard, completely flattening a monster in one go. Talk about a total stomp. Ju Hyuk watches from the side as John Cossack and Gobang handle the heavy lifting. He barely had to lift a finger. Success. He clears the 21st floor with an S++ rank, bagging some mana stones and healing potions. Next day, next floor. Ju Hyuk takes out a desert orc with a quick, clean hit. Another day, another S++ rank. He's just breezing through the 22nd floor like it's nothing. The 23rd floor doesn't stand a chance either. Gobang smashes through a cave orc with zero effort. And just like that, the 23rd floor is in the books. Another S++ rank for the collection. He even clears the volcano floor, though the heat is starting to get to him. Floor 24 is cleared. 1 floor per day. At this rate, he'll be at the top in no time. The next morning, Ju Hyuk wakes up ready for the 25th floor. He's got a big smile on his face. He stretches out, realizing he's been taking it a bit slow. 1 floor at a time is starting to feel like a tease. While getting dressed, he decides it's time to reward his hardworking summons with something special. John Cossack appears in the kitchen, giving a sharp salute. He's ready for orders, even on a rest day. Ju Hyuk tosses him a glowing blue stone, telling him to check it out for himself. Cossack's eyes nearly pop out of his head. It's a summon grade-up rune, and it's extremely rare. Cossack is losing his mind. A grade increase? He's so overwhelmed he can barely speak. He clutches the rune like it's the most precious thing in the world. He's actually tearing up. Ju Hyuk watches with a satisfied grin as Cossack practically tries to eat the rune in excitement. Ju Hyuk asks if the upgrade is starting now, but Cossack explains it's not an instant process. He promises to come back with a whole new look once the upgrade is finished. With the business done, Cossack decides to just kick back and watch some TV for a while. They settle in to watch some VODs, but the price of the reruns is a bit of a shocker. Ju Hyuk suddenly spots something on the screen and tells Cossack to change the channel back immediately. He stares at the TV in disbelief. Is that his mom on the news? Ju Hyuk's mother is right there on the screen, looking serious. What is she doing at a protest? She's standing in front of a massive building, holding a sign against unfair contract termination. People are walking past, but she stays firm. She's had enough of the unfair treatment. In a flashback, we see her on the job. A customer was actually demanding she sort their trash for them. When she refused to be pushed around, the company handed her a termination notice. Unbelievable. She's been protesting alone for 10 days, only to be mocked by the company executives. Ju Hyuk's mother is reaching her breaking point, ready to fight back against the mockery. Suddenly, a man in a suit approaches her, asking if she's Hong Jiamja. The man introduces himself as an attorney from a major law firm. Talk about timing. Ju Hyuk's mother isn't in the mood and gives him a look like she's ready for a fight. She thinks the company is trying to sue her and tells him she's not backing down. But the lawyer clarifies, he's actually there to help her sue the company instead. It turns out he's from Korea's top law firm, and they want to represent her for free. He heard about her petition and explains it's a pro bono project for the socially disadvantaged. Ju Hyuk's mother is suspicious, but it doesn't seem like a lie. Now she has a big decision to make. The lawyer promises to stake his honor on winning. He tells Mom to think of this as a bit of well-deserved luck. Mom decides to go all in. She entrusts the defense to him, ready for a do-or-die battle against the company. He's already one step ahead. Time to get the media involved and turn up the heat on those corporate bastards. Mom is suddenly thrust into the spotlight, surrounded by a sea of flashing cameras and shouting reporters. The lawyer gives a confident thumbs up. He tells her to reveal every single detail of the unfair treatment she suffered. Back at home, Ju Hyuk is absolutely losing it. He had no idea his mom was suffering through this alone. He clutches his head in guilt. What's the point of having 2 sons if they can't even help their own mother? The math isn't adding up. A top-tier law firm like that doesn't just work for pennies. How did she get them? John Cossack is already sharpening his blades. He offers to pay the company a very personal visit. Ju Hyuk stops him before he commits a felony. Violence isn't the answer, yet. She's already got a pro-lawyer. He tells Cossack to stand down. He's quick-witted, but let's leave the legal stuff to the professionals. Ju Hyuk counts his mana stones, worth about 10 million won. He's ready to sell everything to pay those fees. His phone buzzes, it's his dad. Ju Hyuk picks up, expecting more bad news. Dad tells him not to worry. Apparently, the lawyer is working completely for free. Zero charge. And it gets even weirder. Dad got a call from a top-tier hospital about a free rehab program. Free hip surgery and rehabilitation at Korea's best hospital? It sounds way too good to be true. Ju Hyuk hangs up, feeling more suspicious than relieved. Something is definitely fishy here. Wait, another call? This time it's his brother. Today is just full of surprises. Minhyuk is fuming after seeing the news. He can't believe how hard their mom worked just to be treated like trash. He wants to send his allowance back to mom for the lawsuit. He's even willing to skip getting a new laptop. Minhyuk reveals he doesn't need the money anyway. He just scored a massive scholarship. A national scholarship from the Awakening Management Department? The same guys Ju Hyuk works for. Ju Hyuk realizes this isn't luck or heaven's grace. It's a calculated move by the higher-ups. The department is taking care of his entire family. They're making sure he has no distractions. Ju Hyuk calls Agent Kim, the team leader. He needs some real answers, and he needs them now. They meet at a quiet barbecue spot. Nothing settles a debt like grilled meat and a serious talk. Ju Hyuk cuts straight to the chase. Why did they go so far for his family without even asking him? Agent Kim flips the meat calmly. He says it was absolutely necessary for Ju Hyuk's focus. Worries at home lead to mistakes in the tower. They can't afford to have their star player distracted. Ju Hyuk is still uneasy. Is this kind of VIP treatment normal for a general contract? Agent Kim stops him right there. General contract? That was just the warm-up. He slams a new document on the table. It's time to step up to the big leagues. He offers Ju Hyuk an ultra-elite contract. They want to manage him as a special subject. Ju Hyuk is stunned. He's going from a nobody to the nation's top priority in a single meal. Bong Ju Hyuk isn't feeling the hype. He's still playing it cool with his lack of talent. Jong Gwang-ael looms over him, clearly not buying the humble routine for a second. The official is baffled. This kid sets records and still thinks he's a nobody. He stays quiet while Jong Gwang-ael calls out his incredible streak of S++ ranks. The team leader drops a deep bow, practically begging Ju Hyuk to join them. Ju Hyuk is panicking. He just wants to climb, not deal with VIP treatment. Jong Gwang-ael offers an elite contract with top-tier security to sweeten the deal. Ju Hyuk hesitates. If he's always on camera, his secret summons will be outed. He tests the water, asking if he can dodge the mandatory video recordings. Jong Gwang-ael is desperate. He offers a secure life for Ju Hyuk's whole family. The deal is sealed when he mentions 2 free houses. Ju Hyuk is sold. He's already daydreaming about his new mansion while the official watches. Jong Gwang-ael hands over the pen. Ju Hyuk is ready to sign his life away. He stops cold. Something doesn't feel right about signing this fast. Jong Gwang-ael's heart skips a beat. He was inches away from the finish line. Ju Hyuk pulls back, claiming he needs to get some advice first. The next day, his advisor arrives with a very dramatic entrance. A blinding light fills the room. The special super rare assassin has arrived. John Cossack is really feeling himself in his new, sparkly SSR form. Ju Hyuk isn't impressed. He tells his summon to stop hurting his eyes. Cossack gets down to business, ready to discuss the elite team offer. Ju Hyuk asks for the assassin's honest opinion on the state's proposal. Cossack is all for it. He thinks Ju Hyuk deserves some national-level respect. He gives a flashy thumbs up, promising to train even harder as support. Ju Hyuk is still worried about safety, but Cossack says his safety is power. Turns out, there are tons of legendary summons just waiting to be pulled. Cossack teases a future where demigod-level beings obey Ju Hyuk's every word. We're talking monsters that transcend humanity. Talk about a power trip. Ju Hyuk can't even imagine having that kind of god-tier muscle on his side. Cossack admits he can't pull them yet, but he will as his power grows. For now, the goal is simple: stay alive and keep hitting that random summon. Ju Hyuk checks the math. 12 summons a year. Hopefully, luck is on his side. The countdown is on. 19 days until his next chance at a new ally. Cossack has one firm demand for the contract: no outside interference. Ju Hyuk must be the only one deciding when to clear the upper floors. Cossack gets emotional, remembering how painful it is to be summoned unprepared. He wipes a tear away. State support is great, but freedom is non-negotiable. Suddenly, a new notification pops up. The barbarian meat shield has arrived. Gobang makes his grand entrance, looking absolutely massive and bored. The big guy isn't here to make friends. He doesn't greet just anyone. Cossack just laughs. He's the SSR around here, and he's not letting the newbie forget it. Cossack is really leaning into his SSR status, reminding Meatball that there's a massive gap between them. Poor Meatball is actually sweating. Even a warrior knows when to stay quiet in front of a higher rank. Juhyuk feels bad for the guy. He promises to give Meatball the next grade-up rune he finds. Time to get back to work. The team enters the 25th floor with a mission to wipe out 100 orcs. Juhyuk looks like a toddler compared to his summons, but he's the one holding the leash. Cossack is ready to flex. He hasn't had a chance to cut loose in his SSR form until now. The assassin orders Meatball to go in first and soak up all the damage. Classic tank duty. Meatball doesn't complain. He charges into the horde, ready to eat every bit of aggro they've got. He hits the front lines like a wrecking ball, sending dirt and orcs flying in every direction. Now it's Cossack's turn. He launches himself into the fray with speed that would make a jet look slow. Juhyuk can barely track him. It's like watching a blue blur tear through the battlefield. Cossack triggers Blade Explosion, turning the area into a literal minefield of sharp energy. The scale is insane. This isn't just a simple skill anymore, it's a full-blown explosive bazooka. Even the orcs just standing nearby are getting caught in the crossfire as the ground shatters. He's a one-man army, shredding through everything in sight with zero effort. The orcs don't even know what hit them. One moment they're charging, the next they're seeing stars. Cossack moves like a ghost, appearing as a terrifying glowing phantom in the middle of the chaos. He pops up behind the leaders with a cold smirk, whispering a final surprise before they go down. His despicable ambush is anything but fair. He's taking heads before the orcs can even blink. He follows up with a poison dagger, mockingly asking the dying monsters why they look so sour. The assassin is just warming up. He's got plenty more tricks in his bag for anyone left standing. Juhyuk realizes he can't just sit back. He needs to get in on the action before his summons finish it all. He activates Shadow Step, trailing blue flames as he zips across the battlefield like a pro. Cossack is still looking out for him, reminding him that the summoner's safety is the real key to power. Juhyuk grips his staff tight. He's tired of being the weak link and is determined to level up fast. He channels his energy, ready to prove that he's the one who can keep everyone safe. Bong Juhyuk stares intently, realizing he can't rely on John Cossack forever. He faces an orc, determined to grow strong on his own. Bong dodges the first swing. He follows up with another flying kick, sending the orc reeling. Bong readies his weapon, calling out the first form of the primordial thunderstaff. A bolt of lightning crashes down, obliterating the orc instantly. He weaves through the battlefield with Shadow Step, leaving a trail of sparks. A system notification pops up, the second form has been unlocked. Bong can't help but grin at his sudden power boost. He eyes a group of green orcs, wondering how this scattered thunder works. Bong spins his staff, charging up the second form's energy. He thrusts the staff forward, releasing arcs of electricity into the air. 5 branches of lightning strike simultaneously, frying orcs everywhere. Bong is hyped, this AoE attack is a total game changer. John Cossack looks on, completely unfazed by the showy display. John Cossack is actually annoyed, watching the unnecessary fireworks from the side. He storms over, shouting at Bong to get it together. Cossack scolds him for being too flashy and breaking their one-per-floor agreement. Bong immediately bows his head in apology. He pauses, a sudden thought crossing his mind. Why the hell is he apologizing to his own summon? Bong gets worked up, declaring he's the alpha male in this tower. John Cossack just sighs, wiping some monster blood off his face. Bong charges forward, shouting about smashing the boss's head in. A massive orc chieftain appears, and Bong's alpha energy vanishes instantly. He screams for John Cossack at the top of his lungs as the boss looms over him. John Cossack and Gobang dash past him to handle the real work. Bong points at the giant, demanding his summons get rid of it right now. Gobang, aka Meatball, cracks his knuckles, ready to end this. He charges in with a smirk, while Bong cowers in the background. The chieftain swings, but the summons are already closing in. Gobang delivers a massive blow, overwhelming the boss's defense. The boss looks stunned as John Cossack prepares a despicable ambush. A massive explosion of energy finishes the fight for good. System messages flood the screen, floor 25 cleared with an S++ rank. Bong earns a platinum badge, bringing his total to 25. He pumps his fist as he's granted a special encore perk. He looks over the options, but for Bong, there's only one choice. He selects Trait Enhancement, feeling his power surge. His stats update, he's now level 26 with room for a third summon. A 4-man party? Now that's what Bong calls an easy life. He looks at his current team, already wondering who's joining the squad next. Back at home, Bong Joo-hyuk asks his trusty summons what they're craving for dinner. John Cossack immediately raises his hand for tteokbokki. He claims his spicy tolerance has evolved along with his SSR rank, but Bong isn't buying it. Bong treats the team to a mountain of food to celebrate clearing the 25th floor. Gobang is inhaling the spice like a champ, claiming it's actually sweet. Meanwhile, John Cossack looks like he's about to meet his maker after one bite. His mouth literally becomes a flamethrower. That's some serious soul-burning spice. Gobang is ready to trade his partner in for a new summon who can actually handle a snack. Watching the chaos, Bong decides he's finally made enough bank to tell his family the truth. Sunset hits as he heads back to his old apartment for a serious life update. Bong walks in with a massive tray of premium beef, grinning like he won the lottery. His mom is worried about the receipt while his brother is suspicious of the sudden cash flow. His dad steps in to calm the storm, telling everyone to just enjoy the feast for once. Bong looks on, relieved that his family's medical and legal bills are finally ancient history. Then he drops the bomb, he's officially an awakened player. Absolute silence. They're staring at him like he's grown a second head. His family thinks he's just talking about some mobile game. The disrespect is real. Before he can explain, John Guangael calls to check in on his star player. The next morning, it's out with the old apartment and in with the high-rise luxury. A literal limo arrives to escort his family, who are floored to hear Bong is a national talent. Bong welcomes them to their new penthouse, officially moving his family into the high life. Joo-hyuk arrives at the Awakened Management Department. Time to sign his life away. One signature later and he's officially an elite player. He can't believe he actually scored an elite contract. Poverty is officially over. Life really is unpredictable. One day you're a nobody, the next you're a secret weapon. Agent Kim apologizes for the low salary of 2 billion won. Most people wouldn't mind that problem. Joo-hyuk's only condition is to keep his identity hidden. He wants his family safe. He imagines his family being swamped by paparazzi. Yeah, that's a hard pass. Agent Kim asks if his family likes their new house. Min-hyuk texts back. Mom is crying happy tears and the new house is incredible. Kim shows him the new apartment. It's fully loaded and ready for move-in. To Joo-hyuk, this 2-room spot is basically a royal penthouse. But while he's celebrating his upgrade, the actual elite penthouse in Seoul is a different story. Meet Yoo Kyeolman, the rank 1 player who's currently drowning in luxury and girls. He wants to take the party to the next level. This guy is pure ego. They're tossing back shots that cost 5 million won each. Just pocket change for rank 1. Then someone mentions the S++ record holder, and the vibe instantly dies. Kyeolman's eyes go dark. He's not used to anyone else stealing his spotlight. He tries to act cool. A 25th floor clear is child's play compared to his rank. But the girls keep gushing about the world record. It's clearly hitting a nerve. He snaps and dumps whiskey all over her head. Talk about a toxic host. He tells her to keep talking while he looms over her like a psychopath. He explains that if the tower isn't cleared, the whole country goes up in smoke. He smashes a bottle to prove a point. Korea is on the verge of destruction. He watches her tremble with a sick smile. This dude has completely lost it. Kyeolman is fed up with being compared to some low-level rookie. Everywhere he turns, it's all about S++. It's driving him insane. He decides he's done with Korea. Time to look at those massive foreign offers. China is offering 180 billion won and a private jet. Not bad for a start. Japan is promising 200 billion and a mansion full of maids. Even better. He's been risking his life for months, and all he gets is people talking about a rookie. He's officially done. Why stay where you aren't appreciated? The 60th floors are a literal nightmare filled with ghosts and demonic energy. One attempt leaves you mentally scarred for days. It's a total death trap. Even with all the support in the world, Kyeolman barely makes it out alive every time. He's made his choice. He's going to push for naturalization. The news reports are about to be absolute carnage for the public. Without him, the tower collapse countdown is going to hit 0 in 3 months. He smirks, knowing the country is doomed without him. He laughs manically. He'll be long gone before the disaster even hits. He wants everyone to regret the day they stopped worshipping him. Back at Ju Hyuk's place, he's dealing with his own crisis, 10 boxes of fried chicken. Ju Hyuk is loving life in the player-only housing. It's peak comfort. Resident staff handles everything from chores to errands. Talk about a level up. Gyms, pools, and food are all in the building. He really should have moved in sooner. After clearing the 26th floor trolls, it's time for a fried chicken celebration. The swamp mission was a pain, but his shadow step skill made the clear look easy. He's ready to dig in with Meatball and John Cossack. But his summons are completely zoned out, staring at the screen with hard eyes. Ju Hyuk is confused. What could possibly be more important than chicken? Turns out, the boys are huge fans of the idol group on TV. A girl group on a 100-inch TV is apparently the ultimate summoner's distraction. Ju Hyuk plans to grind straight through to the 29th floor tomorrow. Cossack wonders why they aren't aiming even higher. The plan is to repeat clears until the summon cooldown is up for a 4th member. Cossack is actually excited about adding another member to the squad. While Meatball cheers, Cossack is low-key worried about losing his right-hand man status. Agent Kim delivers the volcano orc leather armor Ju Hyuk requested for the next floor. The government is really pampering him to make sure those tower clears keep coming. They enter the 27th floor, which is basically one giant, freezing mountain range. It's notoriously bitter, but Ju Hyuk is feeling great thanks to his new gear. Meatball is walking around shirtless in a blizzard, claiming warriors don't feel the cold. Meanwhile, Cossack is literally a block of ice but insists he's doing just fine. Ju Hyuk thinks Meatball would be the ultimate summon if he just had some brains. Cossack decides that if he can't stop shivering, he'll just start killing. Ju Hyuk is convinced that the freezing temperatures have officially broken Cossack's mind. The enchanted coat is so cozy he almost wants to nap instead of fighting. But they have a job to do, and the squad charges into the snow. That was quick. Mission clear, and Ju Hyuk snagged another level up. He's shocked at how fast they finished. Plus, he scored a platinum badge and a new sword. A weapon drop at last. Ju Hyuk is hyped to finally upgrade his gear. But his excitement dies when he sees the blade. It looks like a worn-out piece of junk. This is the Roland Holy Sword. It's fragile and niche, but it shreds the undead. Ju Hyuk tries to pawn off his trash sword to Gobang. Gobang passes. He prefers the hands-on approach. John Cossack isn't interested in budget gear either. Ju Hyuk thinks about heading back to the player shop. Might as well give it one swing before he gets rid of it. Here goes nothing. He gives it a couple of swings. 2 moves and he's already gassed. Reality sucks. Cossack's cheering is starting to feel like a total prank. Turns out, players are severely nerfed outside the tower. Ju Hyuk asks if there's a fix. Cossack says there is. If the tower and reality merge, the limits vanish. But that's basically the apocalypse, so maybe not. Over at the Japanese embassy, things are getting spicy. Counselor Tomo gets the word, a rabbit is on the move. Korea's rank 1 player is planning to defect. Tomo's already celebrating the upcoming disaster. 2 days later. Floor 66 is looking like a problem. Ju Hyuk wonders if he should even care about the elite players. Nah, he'll just stick to his own pace. Floor 28 was a total headache with those giant trees. Thank God for Gobang's brute strength. He's a monster in a fight, even if he's not the sharpest. Cossack was cleaning up the rest without breaking a sweat. Today's goal, floor 29. Gas masks are mandatory. These plague trolls are basically walking biohazards. Summons are in. Gobang's trying out a new superhero name. Mission, kill 20 trolls. Time is ticking. The summons think the mask is overkill, but Ju Hyuk knows better. They're tearing through these trolls faster than yesterday. Mission complete. S++ rank again. Too easy. The boys are hoping for a celebratory team dinner. Ju Hyuk has a better idea. Unsummoned. No way he's letting that puss into his new house. He feels like a bad boss, but the furniture comes first. Meanwhile, Korea's rank 2 is putting in work at the gym. Meet Nam Gun. She's a beast, but she's hit a wall. The dark zombie on the 62nd floor is a nightmare. She's starting to wonder if she's reached her limit. But she's an elite for a reason. Failure isn't an option. Time for some positive energy and a flex. Suddenly, everyone is scrambling. Something big is happening. Lee Mina is losing her mind over the latest headlines. Everyone is in a frenzy, and Nam Gun is the only one out of the loop. The news isn't just bad, it's a national disaster. Korea's rank 1, Yoo Cheol-min, is airing out all the dirty laundry. The media is in a total state of shock as the country's future hangs by a thread. Cheol-min drops the bomb, he's defecting to Japan. Bong Joon-hyuk's reaction is basically everyone in Korea right now. The government is so desperate they've called Bong Joon-hyuk in for a private meeting. They need someone to reach the 60th floor, and they're looking at him. Bong Joon-hyuk does the math. Clearing the upper floors isn't a walk in the park. He's a tactical climber, not a speedrunner. Rushing is a suicide mission. The team leader knows it's a huge ask, but they have zero other options. The climber isn't about to make promises he can't keep just to be a hero. Suddenly, Nam Gun bursts in like her life depends on it. She's desperate for light attribute gear to break her deadlock on the 62nd floor. Gun finally notices the guy sitting on the couch. Bong Joon-hyuk is having a full-blown internal crisis just from being looked at. To break the ice, he mentions he's actually got some stuff to sell. He pulls out a sword that looks like it belongs in a scrap heap. The woman is skeptical, but she decides to take a closer look. One look at the stats and her jaw hits the floor. This trash is a god-tier weapon. One look at the stats and her jaw hits the floor. This trash is a god-tier anti-undead weapon. Before he can even finish his sales pitch, she's all over him. Nam Gun needs this sword. No, she deserves this sword. She's literally begging now, promising to do anything if he just lets her use it. Bong Joon-hyuk is living his best life in his head, marrying the beautiful Nam Gun. They're even enjoying a tropical honeymoon together. This guy is dreaming big. He's already planning for the future, asking about naming their honeymoon baby. Gun is blushing, totally playing along with his elaborate fantasy. The moment is perfect, and she leans in for a kiss. Reality check. Joon-hyuk is making a total fool of himself in the real world. Gun is just thrilled he's actually lending her the holy sword. She's all sparkles. He snaps out of it, acting cool while telling her to just test the sword out. Gun gears up and heads straight for the 62nd floor. Time to see what this blade can do. Joon-hyuk watches her go, hoping it works so he can sell it for a fat stack of cash. The mission is simple, take down 20 dark zombies in under 15 hours. But these aren't your average undead. They're pure nightmare fuel. The dark zombie emerges, radiating a disgusting, oppressive aura. The pressure is intense. Gun is already feeling the urge to run for it. Suddenly, the old holy sword pulses with a bright, white radiance. Gun isn't impressed yet. Compared to her usual gear, the light seems a bit dim. The zombie doesn't wait for a review and lunges straight at her. She grits her teeth. Dim light or not, she has to fight her way through. A player's destiny is to face the enemy, even when the odds are stacked against them. The clash is violent, and the zombie's power is no joke. The dark aura starts closing in, threatening to swallow her whole. Her body feels heavy, and it looks like the sword isn't making any difference. The monster prepares to finish her off while she's pinned down. That's when the sword special effect kicks in, Steadfast Mind activates. The mental pressure vanishes instantly, and Gun lets out a massive strike. She's moving at light speed, tearing through the zombie's defenses with ease. It's a total slaughter. Critical hits are popping up left and right. Gun can't believe it. She just shredded a monster that usually terrifies her. Back at the office, Manager Kim is checking his watch. It's only been 2 hours. He's worried she failed again, since that's her usual time for a tactical retreat. The portal opens, and Gun steps through, looking completely drained. She downs a healing potion, making the guys wonder if the mission was a bust. Joon-hyuk is just relieved she's back in one piece. He asks if the sword was even helpful, ready for her to tell him it's trash. Instead of an answer, Gun lunges forward and tackles him into a massive hug. Joon-hyuk's brain completely shorts out. He was definitely not prepared for this. And just like that, he's back in delusion mode, imagining their kid's first day of school. Gun is overflowing with gratitude, thanking him for the life-saving loaner. She admits she would have failed without it, while manager Kim looks on in shock. Clearing the 62nd floor that fast is unheard of. Gun is ecstatic. Manager Kim is hyped. With this sword, they might even conquer the 66th floor. He's just glad this sword didn't fall into the hands of a traitor like Yuchio Min. Nam Gun is starting to realize just how special Bong Joo-hyuk really is. The old holy sword took a beating, but it definitely got the job done. Manager Kim assures her it's an easy fix for the pro craftsman at the shop. Even better, the management department is footing the bill for repairs. Joo-hyuk wants to cash out, but manager Kim suggests a much better play. Instead of selling, he proposes they start a high-stakes rental business. With towers popping up globally, there's a massive market for a sword like this. Joo-hyuk's brain shorts out when he hears the price, 10 billion won per use. Manager Kim knows his stats, the demand for this weapon is going to be insane. Our boy's eyes turn into literal dollar signs. This is pure, unadulterated profit. The management department will handle all the dirty paperwork for him. Joo-hyuk even offers the department a discounted rate to keep things moving. Back at home, it's time to celebrate with some top-tier boss Sam. 10 billion for one use? Joo-hyuk is officially a holy sword lord. He treats his crew to a massive feast. Eat up, boys, you earned it. John Cossack and Gobang are actually moved to tears by the boss Sam. Behold the capitalist smile. Joo-hyuk is rich, and life is looking good. Meanwhile, the news is exploding. Korea finally has a new hero to look up to. Fast forward 10 days. Joo-hyuk's been grinding hard, but it's bath time. The moment every gacha gamer lives for is here, the summon cooldown is over. He's doing the full ritual, scrubbing down and putting on fresh clothes for luck. Fasting since yesterday? This guy takes his summoning rituals way too seriously. He's starving, but nothing comes between a man and his legendary pulls. Purified water from the dispenser? Hey, whatever keeps the RNG gods happy. 29 seconds left. The tension in the room is reaching a breaking point. He's praying for an LSSR, Legend Special Super Rare. Don't we all? John Cossack tries to play it cool, but the whole crew is feeling the heat. Joo-hyuk reminds them how far they've come. It's been a wild ride. Even Gobang can't help but crack a smile. Everyone is ready for a new teammate. No more talking. It's time to see what destiny has in store for him. The final countdown begins. 3, 2, 1. Random summon activated. Please let this be a good one. The light is blinding. A mysterious new figure is starting to materialize. A soft voice speaks. The wait is finally over. Meet Jian Dalray. She's definitely not your average summon. Name, Jian Dalray. Grade unknown and type unknown. Bong Joo-hyuk just summoned a total babe, but the vibe in the room is weirdly intense. John Cossack is just as confused as his master. Is this really a fighter? A glowing blue sword and ritual bells appear out of thin air. Meet Jian Dalray. She introduces herself as a priestess and swears her life to Master Bong. Joo-hyuk is stunned. A shaman? That's not what he expected. But then her eyes get cold. Real cold. She whips out her ritual blade and points it straight at the guys. She starts roasting Cossack for looking at her with greasy eyes. One look at her beauty with lustful thoughts and it's divine punishment for everyone. Joo-hyuk doesn't care about the attitude. He's just hyped he finally got a girl. She's sweet to him, though. Master, look as much as you wish. He checks the stats and, jackpot. She's a massive SSR, same rank as Cossack. He wonders if there's a hierarchy even among the top-tier summons. Jian Dalray, the ultimate buzzkill, priestess from the Heavenly Empire. Joo-hyuk realizes he might have bitten off more than he can chew with this one. Suddenly, the system forces him into her memories. Time for some tragic backstory. He's transported to a massive imperial palace from another world. Turns out, Dalray was a princess who became a priestess of the imperial shrine. After her father died, her uncle murdered her little brother and stole the throne. Consumed by rage, she performed a forbidden ritual of death to get revenge. No one could stop her. She cursed the usurper and watched him suffer. But messing with death magic comes with a heavy price. The curse backfired, and the princess met a tragic, early end. Ju Hyuk snaps back to reality, feeling a bit sorry for the bossy priestess. He's got questions. Specifically, who actually founded this Change Empire? She explains it was King Jian-won, the guy who conquered everything. Ju Hyuk's mind is blown. This is the same guy from Korean history? It's a parallel universe where history took a wild turn. In her world, later Beach unified the kingdoms instead of Goryeo. Fascinating stuff, but Ju Hyuk's stomach is screaming for food. He offers to make everyone some ramen. Everyone's down for a snack. The legendary summons watch as their master starts boiling water. Dalray loses it. She calls them brats and arrogant summons. She can't believe they're letting the master cook for himself. Cossack is like, wait, aren't we all the same rank? Wrong move. She starts ringing those bells and prepares a curse. One mention of a curse and Cossack is absolutely terrified. Now the S-rank assassin and the massive warrior are on kitchen duty. With everyone fed and cowed, Ju Hyuk suggests hitting the tower. They arrive at the 30th floor of the Black Tower in Korea. Ju Hyuk realizes Dalray is actually a blessing. She keeps the others in line. She's already scolding Cossack for having no manners. This is going to be a fun climb. Ju Hyuk's ready to finally carry for once. He wants at least 10 kills today. John Cossack and Gobang are locked in. Safety first, bodies second. Dalray still thinks they're trash, but hey, at least they're motivated trash. The 30th floor mission drops, 80 regular trolls and one double-headed boss. Ju Hyuk wonders what kind of shaman magic she's packing. Curses? Fire? Nope. It's a Bluetooth speaker. High-tech shamanism has officially arrived. Ju Hyuk's losing his mind. Where did she even get a portable speaker from? Since she's solo, she had to improvise her ritual music. Modern problems, ancient solutions. Just hit play and let the divine beats drop. Time to start the ritual. She starts the ritual dance. Protection of the gods is incoming. Ju Hyuk can feel the raw energy vibrating through the entire air. Gobang is literally evolving. He's becoming a massive blue meat shield. Trolls try to land a hit, but his skin is now literal metal. They can't do a thing. One ground slam and it's over. The man is overflowing with power. Cossack is moving so fast the trolls can't even see their own limbs falling off. Sharpened senses turned his brain into a supercomputer. He's having the time of his life. On top of the buffs, the trolls are caught in a massive debuff field. Air sluggish. This skill is absolutely broken. Ju Hyuk is finally feeling like a main character. Time for some action. And, denied. Dalray grabs him by the hoodie like a disobedient puppy. She tells him to sit back and watch. Masters don't play with trash. Ju Hyuk's begging to go in, but she's not letting go. He's missing all the kills. Mission success. Ju Hyuk leveled up without even swinging his sword. He's having a full-blown breakdown. Another floor cleared, 0 kills for the MC. He turns to complain to Dalray, but stops mid-sentence. Something is wrong. Wait, is the arrogant priestess actually crying?